What's happening? Let's do this. You, me, the whole gang. It's Sunday shout out day, and this is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. I feel like it's been like a couple months. It's been like a week. What's going on in Italy? Maurizio, hope you're well out there. How about Dobbs Ferry, New York? Come on now. It is Sunday shout out day. Vinny Doak, hope you're feeling well, buddy. Good to see you, man. Ronnie Wheeler, best sound man the A7 ever had. Where is he? Ronnie Wheeler, there he is. What's up, buddy? What's up, Lee? How's it going? It's going. It's going well, man. I'm happy to see you, man. I'm happy to see Lee. I'm happy to see everybody. You know, let's do our thing today. Let's talk about music and things that we love, you know? Joe Frank, what's up? Chris Hoffman, fresh Adidas. This is probably 30 years old. This Adidas getup I have, you know. Greetings from Massachusetts. All right. Good. All right. Yes. Here, okay, good. What else going on? You know, what can I tell you? It's been a week. I was down in Florida. I saw my dad. Back up in New York. You know, got the book coming out, the Antidote NYHC record coming out. Got a lot of shows, doing this, doing that. Basically saving the galaxy from imminent destruction. So you and your loved ones have a safe place to live. So there you go. In the meantime, what's up with this dude?
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
I'm in the city. I'm on overtime.
I'm in the city too, bro.
It's your city. It's my city. It's our city.
This city's going down the drain, bro. Dude, this city's going down. Dude, I go out my neighborhood now, like people are smoking crack everywhere in my neighborhood.
It's Thunderdome.
The gas. Just walk away.
Exactly. Hey, shout out to Italy. I'm going to Italy in February.
Shout out to Italy.
Yeah, I'll be there in February 18th to the 27th. I'm going to Rome.
You gonna see Maurizio? You gonna go visit Maurizio in Italy?
That's it. Me and the Pope gotta have a sit down.
Who is it? It's me.
It's Steve from New York.
It's Steve from the show. I'm here for the Scungeel. Oh man. All right. What else you got?
Man. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
All right. Let's do photo of the day.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Wrong answers only, please. This is photo of the day. Yay. Boom. Let's see what we got here. Wrong answers only, please. Let's see what we got. Watch listen, you're rubbing the mic on your collar, bro. So you
haven't yelled at me in a while.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna yell at you. Is it Hootie?
Stop moving your head.
You know what? That's a band I hate, bro.
Hootie and the Blowfish?
God damn, bro. I hate Hootie and the Blowfish, bro. About as much as the Dave Matthews Band.
I'm not a big fan of them either.
Dude, stop it. I mean, they're up there with Billy Joel and Phil Collins in my book. Is it Bruce Willis? Is it Jordan Peele? That's good. Funny, not funny, funny. Is it Michael Alago? Is it Milo Goes to the Gym? Is it Billy Joel? Is it George Lopez? Is it Hootie Who? Is it Chugging Imaginary Beer?
Oh, I see that.
Dude has a tree growing up his arm, though. I'll give him that. What was that, Man Thing or Swamp Thing? Like,
Well, Marvel had Man Thing, and DC had Swamp Thing.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You know what? We might have to get the expert on here. We'll get Rat Bones on here. He would know. You know what? I actually know this. even though I rarely went over to the dark side, aka DC, Bernie Wrightson did Swamp Thing back in the day, and that was awesome.
That was great.
Am I
stuff,
right, Rap
yeah.
Bones? Yeah. Is it Ross the Boss from Manowar? Is it Milo Goes to the Tanning Salon? All right. People are funny. People are trying. Is it Bob Seger? Yo, that's another dude that's another dude that, like, man, I never got with Bob Seger, man.
Like one or two songs. If I ever hear it's old time rock and roll again,
Jimmy,
I hate that song.
That shit makes me want to, like, hurt people, man. All right, here's another one. Oh, I like this one because it has, like, what has become, like, I think I was looking at this before, and you know, this move, this is like the hardcore move now. But this thing.
That's right.
That
Whoever
is like,
said it was impolite to point.
Metal has this.
Yep.
Like, metal has this thing. Hardcore's got, like, yeah, like this thing. Like, I see it, like, when we're playing, and I'm up there, and people pointing at me, like, like, you know, is it a pointing contest?
Pointer Sisters.
Bang, bang, bang. Is it the Pointer Sisters? Is it Vote? Is it the finger point? We are the finger point. King Diamond without makeup. All right. Right answers only, please. Here we go. What do you got? Right answers only, please. Come on. Is it a Gunfingers convention? All right. Is it penis size measurements? Very good. Funny. Funny, not funny, funny. Is it F451? Is it
There
Fahrenheit? Is it Fahrenheit? Now, here's someone that would know. Is it Fahrenheit 451? All right. What is it?
I think Chucky.
What is it?
I think Chucky nailed it. It is, in fact, Fahrenheit 451. And a couple of familiar faces there in this band that we've seen in recently in another band. But yeah, this is 450. If this is Fahrenheit, a couple of weeks back at La Poussin Rouge in New York City with that was a great night. That was a night with H2O and Shutdown and Reaching Out. And this was a great, I particularly like this picture because right in the front row are the daughters of one of the guys in the band, I believe. Like these two heads, like closest to the front, are it might be the singer's daughters, but because it was the singer's 50th birthday as well.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was kind of a cool, like, cool way to celebrate, and they were really good. And I see some Crazy Eddie boys up there, you know, and which is pretty cool because we're going to be seeing them very soon again at Barry Electric.
Actually,
and we're seeing Fahrenheit.
Yeah,
as well.
Why didn't I think of this? It just so happens, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that on Sunday, January 16th,
2022,
Hardcore Matinees are back on the Bowery. Here we go. Free show. The New York Hardcore Chronicles proudly presents the Back to the New York Hardcore Roots music series with Fahrenheit 451, 24/7 Spies, Cropsy. Woo! Gonna get some new people in the mix. And Iconicide. This is a four band bill. So
that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, man. The shows are great. You know?
I haven't seen 24/7 in years.
Yo, they call me. They want to get down, you know?
That's gonna be awesome.
I came to get down. down. Jump around, you know? So how about that?
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Fahrenheit 24/7, Cropsy, Iconicide, free. If it's free, then it's for me. So that said, good shit. All right, cool.
Absolutely. Here, wait, let me give you a little peek at the world right here.
Oh, is that one of those new trains?
Now the new one went away. That's just a straight up M7 right there.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm
Glad
on the clock, but it's all for a good cause.
Listen, I'm glad you're getting paid to do the show, bro.
You know what? I need to make money for hair products.
That's right. That's right. All right, man. I'll talk to you in a bit.
You got it. Shout out to everybody. See you guys in a little bit.
Well, there you go. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. We are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, The Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Chacho's Tacos, Generation Records. And are you ready? Are you ready for this? Bim!
Ragbone! 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 Yeah.
Internet.
Oh, hold on. I got to call you back.
It's bananas.
How's everybody doing?
All right.
What's up, Drew? How are you?
I'm good. You know, you know who I saw last night? I went out and saw some music last night.
Nice.
I went to go see Jesse Malin play, and he brought HR came out and played with him.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Very cool.
That's a shot I took.
What they do?
I and I never die.
I and I survive.
And what did Josh show them? I and I survive.
Yeah, I just bought the CD of the Bad Brains dub yesterday. I paid up $20 for it. I wouldn't normally spend that much on a CD, but it's like got a brain on it. It's like all dub. It's pretty cool. It's got 11 songs on it.
Cool.
It's cool.
Yep.
So
right, what do you got?
I'm gonna mix it up today. I know it's not my day. I'm gonna run it quick. Let's see if you guys can get the theme of what's going on here. You know, we got this little collectible Sculby secret base, I think these are called. You know, you can get these at like Toy Tokyo. It's got the little boxing gloves on. Little vinyl. He's got a little like plaid guy inside him. This is super cool. These are like $80 a pop, man. But I love showing these guys off. And since we got the fighting spirit, Richie Mancuso on today, I'm going to bust out the Rock'em Sock'em Robots. You know what's kind of funny? I never noticed. These are red and blue, right?
Yeah.
You know, Republican and Democrat. You know, even back then, subliminally now.
Do they still is Rock'em Sock'em Robots still out there? Do they still sell
They
that?
got a cheap version of this.
I could just imagine that in this day and age, it's like it's not. They cancel culture.
I mean, you know what's cool for a toy like this? It has all metal rods underneath it and everything that, like, you know, they were built to last, man. I mean, kids beat the crap out of these things.
Oh, dude, me and my brother had that.
It had the ring around it. It had like ropes and everything. But yeah, I did a little research. I found out the name of the red guy is the Red Rocker, and the blue guy is the Blue Bomber.
Yes, I knew that. Yeah. Yep.
And then since we got a Pennsylvania boy on today, I got this sweet 1970s picture of Philadelphia's favorite son.
Nice.
Rocky.
He's
and then
like
one last little one, because Rocky was good. And as far as I'm sure you could do a whole show on boxing movies. You know, you get your dad on and Craig Satari. You guys could go off, Raging Bull. But my movie,
my dad was friends with Sylvester Stallone before he made it. My dad was friends with him when he had the Rocky script.
Nice. That's really cool. But my favorite movie from when I was a kid was The Champ with Ricky Schroeder, you know, like. But then I just got to show this last collectible because it's the greatest boxer of all time, right? The champion of the world, Mike Tyson. He's got the.
What has he got? Cornrows?
No, he's got a fro. But he's tough, bro. You know?
Yep.
So I figured I'd put some boxing out there for, you know, the hardcore guys out there this time.
Right on.
And Richie, great guy. Love Wisdom in Chains on Electric Band Live. We all know the score. We all know the deal, man. So looking forward to a great show, man.
Hey, are you gonna? We got this coming up.
Oh,
Dog Eat Dog, Kings Never Die, Crazy Eddie and Dead Crew.
That's a good mix, man. Got the hip hop.
I put the eclectic bills together, bro.
Sounds like a plan, dude. Sounds like a plan.
All right. We will see you. I'll bring you on to say hi to Richie.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
All right. Talk to you in a
bit. Everyone. Yep.
Rackbone! 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 Rackbone!
Well, there you have it. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Chacho's Tacos, Generation Records, and the Texas Silver Rush. It's a jewelry design firm and boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. Yeehaw. They specialize in working with musicians in all music genres to design and create unique one-off pieces, as well as style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, and social media exposure. The client list includes Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Greg Rollet, Ringo Starr, and of course, Agnostic Front. During this current never-ending pandemic, all information and online sales are being taken on their Facebook and Instagram pages, and of course, www.texassilverrush.com. Come on now, located in Corpus Christi, Texas, Chacho's Tacos opened their doors in 2001, home of the almighty Chacho's Taco. They cook up an incredible home-style Tex-Mex food, and this month they're celebrating the 20th anniversary. They've been supporting underground music since the beginning, and in their own words, we ain't stopping anytime soon. Touring bands that play Corpus Christi, swing by and get a home-cooked meal at Chacho's Tacos. We got you. The underground scene will never die. Please follow us on Facebook or on Instagram. That said, let's clear the deck. Let's bring our guest on the show. Everybody okay in the chat room there? You see, no interlopers. I know I could go for some Chacho's Tacos too, man. Seriously. I wonder if they deliver to Manhattan from Corpus Christi. Freaking hungry over here. Yo, Drew, shout out who engineered, mixed, and mastered your guys' new record, if you can. Well, we self-produced it, but it was done in a studio in Brooklyn called Found Soundation. I actually forgot the dude's name that runs the studio, but it was pretty much a group effort. But sounds good. We're happy with the new record. Thank you. It's good stuff. That said, let's get it on. Here we go. Let me clear the deck. What the heck? Let's talk about some music and such. Today's guest is a guitarist, songwriter, and podcast host hailing from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. He's known for his work with the bands Krutch, Boxcutter, Coming Correct, and of course, Pennsylvania hardcore stalwarts Wisdom in Chains. Currently, his new project is Z9. Please welcome, coming at us from Stroudsburg, PA, Mr. Richie Krutch Mancuso. Brother!
Yo. What's up, man?
How are you, buddy?
Good. I enjoyed all of that stuff. And I just noticed Steven's eyes. They're like unbelievable, man. The beautiful blue eyes. I was like mesmerized watching that bit. And respect the Rap Bones, especially for the Stallone pick. You know, we love him over here.
Yeah. My dad knew Stallone, man. My dad, like when he was a struggling actor, you know? And the thing about Stallone, and it's also the thing about, what's his name? The Bronx Tale. Who was it? Chaz Palminteri, right? These are guys that wrote a script and they said they stayed attached to the script, you know, like the deal was I have to be in this part. And both of them did that, and that was both of their vehicles, you know, to
smart
take
moves. Yeah. That's hardcore. They did a hardcore style.
Yo, my dad tells stories of like Sylvester Stallone, you know, trying to borrow $5, you know, borrowing $5 from my dad. He was like that dude was like broke as fuck, man. You know,
I have 3 favorite characters in movie and television history. Rocky Balboa is one of them.
Okay, what are the other 2?
Forrest Gump, and Mr. Spock.
Oh wow.
All good moral men. You know, some smarter than others, but good moral men that always tried to do the right thing.
That's interesting. I like how you got Spock in the mix.
Spock, what a guy.
Yeah.
He sacrificed himself for the whole crew. Yeah, the needs of the many. outweigh the needs of the few,
Come
or the
on
one.
now. You know what I did recently? I revisited because, like, I think was it on Netflix or Amazon Prime? All the original Star Trek are remastered. So
Yeah.
like I went deep. I like okay, and I started with that second season, which they say is really the best season. The second season, because the first season they were sort of getting their footing. There was characters in and out. The third season they cut the budget, but that second season is really good, man.
Yeah. And the movie, it brings me to tears. That one scene when Spock goes into the contaminated chamber,
bro, and he takes the right.
Yeah. And then Kirk shows up, and
I'll
behind
always
the glass,
I'll always be your friend, nigga. What? Like, whoa.
And he was just like, the first thing he said, "Ship out of danger." That's all he cared about. That's all he knew. He was done. That's all he cared about. And Kirk was like, "Spock, no." Oh my God, I could cry right now thinking about it.
It was heavy, man. It was heavy, man.
Beautiful thing.
Good. Yeah. So, wow, boy, people going deep. Can't wait to see Wisdom in Chains in SLC next week.
Salt Lake City next week. That's right, the 30th, Saturday. With we got the Takeover, Mandalore, and Violent Unrest at the Beehive. And I heard
how many shows you doing out there?
That's it. We flying in and we flying out. That's how we operate, baby.
Oh, it's like that, huh?
It's like we're gonna walk too. We're not even gonna fly. We're gonna walk there, play, and walk home, just to show how hardcore we are.
You're going out to Salt Lake City for one friggin' show?
Well, I also have we're all Mormon. Wisdom and Chains is all Mormon, and there's an event going on anyway, so we're gonna be there anyway.
Figured.
We'll be at the temple on Sunday.
Okay, big shout out right here. Italian Ice, my man. Big shout out to Stickman with Fury of 5. What's up, brother? You know,
see, Stickman, that's history with me. That's the man. That's the OG. And even you mentioned the podcast early on. That's our first guest on our podcast in 2013. Stickman was the first guy on. What a guy! Right? You had him on. I was watching. I was on the edge of my seat when he was on. What a sick maniac, but just so honest, you know.
Hoya Rock says, ask him about the Columbus High Five.
You know, Hoya likes to villainize Christopher Columbus. A lot of people do nowadays. But what they don't know is this. Columbus Day exists because of the biggest lynching in American history in New Orleans against who? Italian Americans. They pulled Italian Americans out of a jail, the people of New Orleans, and lynched them. The largest lynching to date. And guess what? The American government decided to throw us a bone. And they said, all right, hey, here's Columbus Day. And that's supposed to make things nice. Now, fast forward years later, and we're still the bad guys somehow. We didn't choose Columbus. They threw a persecuted group a bone, and now we're still hearing it. But you know, hey,
they're going to take that statue. They're going to take that statue down in Columbus Circle, bro.
I know. They're going to put up Columbo, the detective, instead. Nobody got
Peter
a problem.
Falk. They're going to put up Peter Falk.
One more thing. Isn't that what he always said before he left the room?
Hey, one more thing.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hoy's the man, though. Hoy's putting out little snippets of the new Madball stuff. I'm getting excited.
Is that right? Excited. I haven't heard it.
Yeah, he's being real sneaky about it too. Give us some more. Give us some more, Hoya.
Hoya, I got to send you a message, Hoya. I think you're going to be in New York soon. I want to talk to you about something. So let's see. Let's just jump into it. You know, how did you come up? Did you grow up in a musical household? Like, how did music come into your life? And where did you grow up?
Yeah, my dad was into music. He was like a doo-wop guy. He had a little doo-wop group, a cappella. They never did nothing, but they would sing around like a barrel that was on fire on the corner, just like Rocky Day. Like, called the Blenders.
Okay.
That's because they would blend the voices, you know, like real smooth.
That's cool. The Blenders. I like that.
Yeah. So he was into that. And eventually later, he didn't live too long, but later in life, he started booking doo-wop shows like Dion and the Belmonts and the Drifters, the Moonglows, stuff like that. So I was born in Jersey, Clara Mass Hospital, Newark, New Jersey.
Wow.
And then as a youngster, moved out to Stroudsburg, PA, not exactly where I'm at now, but close. And it's kind of close enough that we'd be back and forth all the time. We're the only ones in the family that moved out here because some things went awry, so we had to leave that area. But we came out here. When we came out here, the first thing I noticed, it's pitch black at night. I mean, and I grown to love it. Like I grown to love. It's so dark out here at night. It's incredible. But I love Jersey. I love PA. I love New York. Everywhere we go, there's something to see. I always say that.
Did you why guitar? Why did you pick up guitar? What influenced you to pick up guitar? Or what was the first? Yeah, what influenced you to pick up guitar?
My friend Sal, he played guitar, but he was a lefty, and then he was taking me to shows early on, mostly like metal shows, because that's all that was kind of advertised. You know what I mean? So I started trying to mess around with his left-handed guitar. He was teaching me, and I just liked it. I just fell in love with playing guitar. And then I said, I got to get my own shit. By the time I got my own guitar, the one I'm supposed to have a right-hand joint, I kind of had to relearn everything because I was playing all wrong. Because, it was all upside down on his. But he's the guy. And I just actually saw him. I didn't see him in 20 years. I actually saw him last week. He's an airplane pilot now.
Oh, wow.
And and I had dinner with him, and we were talking about, he still listens to all the metal stuff he used to listen to, like Metallica, Exodus. That was kind of his stuff, but he got me into playing guitar.
It's interesting, like the people who sort of set us on this path. There's certain characters that like they were pivotal and then they disappeared, but they sort of put us in this direction. And that here, years later, it's like you're a career musician, I'm a career filmmaker, musician, whatever. And, it's interesting. There's people that sort of like, show up and then they're gone. You see them years later and you're like, I'm still doing it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. He watched from afar. So he kind of knew what was going on. I was surprised.
Right.
And he was like a supporter. He became a supporter. If
That's
something
cool.
came out, he'd buy it. If something was available, he'd watch it, But he kind of recently went through a divorce, and I think he's a little lonely lately, and he flew back into the area. So we went all over the place looking at all the old hot spots and jogging the memory. He lives down in Virginia now. Good guy, though. What's up, Sally, if you're listening?
So what bands inspired you as a guitar player early on? Like what did you hear that like as you started playing? And were you self-taught?
Yeah, he taught me some stuff, but like I said, he was a lefty. His guitar was strung lefty. So he gave me some brief, power. He was a power chord kind of vibe. But the band that got me is the king of all bands, the blueprint of punk, metal, hardcore, and everything else that I care about as Black Sabbath. That's the band that got me. And I always loved, good guitar work wherever it was, but just the vibe of that band, the imagery of the band, like the attitude, don't give a fuck kind of vibe of Black Sabbath. That was it. So, and then plus, the songs were like strong enough and basic enough that as a young musician, you could learn those and then you could feel good, but that's the key to all of it. Black Sabbath for me,
That was the entry. That was the portal.
Yeah. I used to listen to like Black Sabbath, the song, and ride my bike around at 2 in the morning, 3, and just try to scare myself, the vibe, because it was scary back then. It had a vibe to it,
Yeah.
And I just loved it to this day,
Yeah. I mean, I guess in being that we talk a lot about this kind of stuff, it's like bands like Kiss and Black Sabbath. I mean, whether it's how much of it is intentional, I'm sure a lot of it is, but in a certain way that speaks to sort of the young, 13, 14-year-old male, or female, whatever, but like as a kid, as like a young teenager, like that stuff really spoke to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Kiss and
yeah, you know,
Black Sabbath.
I talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people do mention Kiss. Kiss was never on my radar. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
mine either. It wasn't on
Yeah.
mine either. Yeah.
It's kind of like the only band that gets a pass wearing makeup for me was Twisted
Yeah.
Sister. I
Yeah.
thought they had some strong songs. But
Yeah.
Kiss, I remember my sister was married to this one dude, and he loved like Kiss. And he was a bass player. He had like sick gear because he had money. And so I was like, Kiss, huh? I was like, let me give it a shot. And I played it. I was like, nah, this ain't for me, man. It just sounded like thin and tinny and generic. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was more emphasis on the gimmick rather than the songs, I thought.
Sure.
You know? No offense. I know everybody loves Kiss. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm looking for, I'm doing this JJ French book thing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
You know,
where
our
is it?
guitar player, Chris, in Wisdom of Chains, his cousin was the guy in Twisted Sister that died. I forget his name.
The drummer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget his name, though. I feel bad. But he was a sick drummer, the dude.
Speaking of Twisted Sister, I was asked dude has a book coming out, and I'm moderating this thing at Generation Records. I just ordered it, just showed up today. Twisted Business. JJ French is a smart dude. He manages. He's in band management, and
Hell yeah.
If you ever see that Twisted Sister documentary, he really shines in it, man. He's really. I recommend that to anybody.
Oh, check out the TB logo too. Smart. I like that, man. That's dope. Twisted Sister, yo, I used to draw that on my notebook.
Yeah.
The TS.
How did AJ Perro? That's right.
That's it.
AJ Perro was the drummer.
Yeah. He was related to Chris somehow. Chris was related to him.
Interesting.
And, yeah.
How did hardcore come into your orbit? And what was the first hardcore that you were exposed to?
I used to go to shows all the time, and then they were mostly back then. You would get a glimpse of a hardcore show on the bill with some metal bands, and there was a band. I mean, the bigger bands I saw early on were like Sick of It All. Sick of It All. I saw a lot early on, but like there was a more of a local band, No One's Hero. They were called, from PA. I didn't know them personally, but they were on a lot of bills. And then I'm like, what's the difference between these guys and all these long hair dudes that are playing? And they're like, that's a hardcore band. That's a hardcore. I'm like, oh, okay. I like that. I like that band. You know what I mean? And then I started trying to make it, a point, like check out the hardcore bands. But yeah, I used to see, even like Dog Eat Dog and Mucky Pup back then would be on like these bills and mixed in with like, thrash metal bands and stuff like that. It was a cool time. Agnostic Front with Obituary, that tour back then, like there was, but yeah, that was like.
Now was this when you say you're seeing these shows, was this in Jersey at this point, or were you in Strasbourg?
Well, there was really nothing going on in Strasbourg as far as stuff like that. Like
right.
Any kids I was coming up with around here were just like hip hop kids. They like hip hop, this and that.
So you had to get in the car.
I had to get out. Yeah. So Jersey, until we realized later that there was dope spots in PA for hardcore, like CC's, or some spots in Philly or Allentown. We would go to New Jersey and New York for all the shows. We would go to the Pipeline. Wow. We would go to, Stone Pony. We would go to CB's or
so you would just get in the car and troop. You would just get in the car and troop.
Didn't think nothing of it. Like, remember that Aquarian magazine, the newspaper?
Yeah, of course. That's legendary New Jersey shit right there.
That's it. So we looked through that.
Yeah,
and all the side ads of the clubs and all their dates, and be like, boom, we're going to this one, this one, this one.
That's
and they were almost all in Jersey or New York, That was their main rotation, but we were right on the border of Jersey, so we used to get that one at the local Wawa.
You mentioned CC's and Music. I remember that place. I remember being there with Biohazard, and when I managed Marauder, and of course the infamous Airport Music Hall in Allentown, right?
Yeah.
Where
I used to go there a lot.
Yeah, Murphy's Law would play there. Sick of It All, right? I mean, Biohazard. That place was always an adventure, man. It was always going down in Airport Music Hall.
Yeah, I caught some beatings at that place.
Yeah, that place was off the hook, man.
Very
Any other
place.
Any other like venues, Pennsylvania venues that were
Yeah.
like within striking distance from you guys?
Well, eventually in Stroudsburg, we would have a place called Spanky's.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
Spanky's was owned by a wise guy who had no clue about hardcore.
Right.
But one time we're in there, he had a pool table, we're chilling, and we didn't even know he was gonna do shows. And he's like, "You guys ever heard of Scar music?" And we're like, "Scar music? Nah, what the fuck is that?" He's trying to say ska, this guy, but he was like, "It's old." You know, Scar music. It sounds like horns, and I'm like, "Oh, ska music." And then he started letting us book shows in Stroudsburg. So we had Spanky's that we booked through, but some of the bands used to get wild, and this guy was bug out. We had this one band come in there, and they fucked up the place. And this guy's name was Nick. I'll leave his last name out of it. He comes out with a pull cue, and he's like, "You kids think you're gonna beat up my joint?" And boom, started swinging on these bands. And as soon as he started swinging on, we had to jump in and protect Nick, and it was just like all out war. But we had Spanky's in Stroudsburg, a place called the Sherman Theater that didn't really cooperate with us, but they would have some shows. We had a couple big shows there. There was a place called Penn Monster Factory in Stroudsburg throughout the years. Other than that, in the Lehigh Valley, there was a place called Scarlett O'Hara's would have shows. And in the area of CC's, there was a place called Mantis Green.
Wow.
And yeah, there was a lot of places, man. And then in Allentown, they had places. Bethlehem had places. There was just like at one point, and in PA, a thing is to just book a show at a fire hall. So a kid would just rent a fire hall in the town, and then make a flyer, and then kids would show up in the middle of the woods and whatever random town and bug out. So
and
it was a really good
and it would be one and done usually, right?
Yes, yeah. Most of the time, the people, unfortunately, they didn't know what they were getting into. The people that rented to the kids. Jeez. Then 300 kids show up, and they're like animals. And then at the end of the night, they don't. Even though it was the best night they had, a VFW selling booze, money at the door. They had the most people they ever had in there was 10 people at a time. Now they got 300. They made a few G's, but they don't want the business. You know what I mean?
They don't want the headache.
Yeah, there was always something. But PA would, one way or another, they're gonna figure out a way to book a show. We used to play at a jail that these kids took over out in Clearfield, Pennsylvania, and it was a legit old school jail with like the balconies up top.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, and the shows there were like for the local people, like legendary, like a lot of fun. This guy knows Scarlett. Yeah, Scarlett O'Hara was dope. And Stickman, who chimed in early, he has some history at Scarlett's, but I'm not gonna mention it. But he knows what I'm talking about. That poor guy that he saw.
The music wise, when you first band, what was your first band? How did you get it going? What was the timeline there?
First band was Krutch.
Right out of the gate.
At first we were called Prophets of Rage after the lyric from the Public Enemy, because we sweated Public Enemy. I thought I was like Chuck D back then. I'd walk around like Chuck D. And
there you go, right? That's you guys.
Yeah. And you see the second guy on the steps with the fro, that's Mad Joe's brother, Simon.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep, that's Simon.
Wow.
And so we started Krutch. Our first thing came out in '89. It was 2 songs. And for some reason, I could only find one song. It's called Our Thing. And we didn't know what to do with it, though. We had no connections, no hookup. We would play some like rented things like I was just describing, you know what I mean? Go around, hand out tapes. But probably Krutch became more serious by '93, and then there was a demo that kind of got us out there, and we started playing out of state and this and that.
There you go.
There it is.
With the Jackson.
Jackson, that was our singer's Jackson, and I sweated that. And he said, "You know what? Yo, you play it live." I was like, "Oh shit!" And it had like a tremolo on it, so I had to learn that shit.
Right.
But that band, Living Proof, that's an old PA band that I got on my chest right there. It was damn. I gotta go back to that hair, son. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that, man. That's like the stripped peroxide look.
Yeah, I look like a Cali band guy in that one.
Yeah, you look like
surfing.
Yeah, you're 3'11", bro.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Krutch was the first one.
Yeah. Let me see. I got is this?
I'm gonna go blonde again. What'd you think?
Yeah, hey. Krutch. Is this an early Krutch sticker? Is that what this is?
No, that's a split 7-inch actually.
Ah,
That's the cover. Krutch and a band from France called Stormcore.
got
Good
it.
dudes. Yeah, good dudes. That guy used to book out there. I think a place called Rennes. I don't know how you say it. Rennes, France.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was we did a split with those guys.
Gajewski says, I saw Krutch in Connecticut in like 94, 95 with Hatebreed, Freer 5, and 25 to Life.
Yeah, you know what? I think that was on that place with the half pipe. It had ramps in there. Might have been that place. That was a dope spot. You know, Jamie used to book real cool shows, man.
Yeah, Jamie really, Jamie did a lot, man.
That's a hustler by every sense of the word. You know, that guy got a lot of energy.
Yeah, he worked hard, man.
Yeah, for real. Like,
you know, he really those guys, you know, he really worked hard.
Yeah.
So I mean, people look at Krutch like one of the really early, really important Pennsylvania hardcore bands. I guess, you know, when you guys were doing it, there wasn't a lot of other Pennsylvania hardcore bands out there on the landscape, right?
There were, but like the ones before us though were really you know, give them props. They were like real old school. You know, like Pagan Babies.
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course, right.
So it was almost like the
right.
earliest transformation of the like hardcore punk. They would almost be.
Right.
And then in our day, you know, with the sound changing, and we were getting influenced by the New York bands and this and that, because that's the only place we're going to shows. There was a lot of bands that we came up with, like the same era, same timeline, back then. Like, you know, like there's a band, I mean, so many. Option was a big band out of the Scranton area that did a lot of stuff. You know, you got Matt Gray with you, sick drummer, and he was in a ton of bands back then.
Yep.
You know, and but it was a really good. The PA had a real good scene. It was a little like divided up, but just a lot of shows to choose from and a lot of bands. Yeah, Pagan Babies.
Yeah.
They were early. I don't even know when they were from, but that was an early band, man.
Yeah. What so how did Krutch play out? What I mean, how did the hand play out? Why did you guys what came next?
Like I said, when we first started, we didn't know, you know, we found a place to record, put a couple songs out. We were like, now what? Now what do we do?
Right.
We would go to a store. We would hang out in front of a gas station and hand the tapes out. We didn't know what was up.
Yeah.
Somebody would say, play at my house, play in my basement. Okay. Somebody say, I rented this you know, VFW Hope. Okay. But it wasn't until, you know, and I'm kind of like, I never really talked to nobody. I would go to show, check the show, and then bounce.
Right.
Then I said, I got to start talking to some other bands. You know what I mean? I got to just see what's up, because how's this band that how am I going to see him? You know what I mean? Like,
you gotta you got.
And I'm not really like that. You know, if I don't know somebody, I feel like uncomfortable to talk to them. You know, so
you got to network. You got to network.
That's what I started doing. Started networking. Next thing you know, we're going to Connecticut thanks to Jamie or Death Threat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're going to you know, to Ohio early on. We were going out there a lot because we met people. You know, just bands were taking us out.
You would just take gigs and just be like,
trade off. Yeah. We would get we got our foot in that place at CC's and that place in Stroudsburg, Spanky's.
I see.
And so we were able to trade the show. You want to come our way? You know, we'll headline here. You come here. We go out your way. You headline. Put some bodies in front of us. You know.
Yeah. Greg Hanaway says, I remember you guys played a small town called Pottsville with Option and SWAT.
Wow. Okay. Yo, and SWAT was guys from what would be Mushmouth.
Right.
And that's a band I ended up in later on. Yeah.
Right.
SWAT was like that's another early PA band, SWAT. And I forget, but it stood for something. SWAT. I forget what they had. But that was Chris Mahmood, the guy that owns Reverb.
Yeah.
He was in SWAT, and some other guys in the earliest forms of Mushmouth. They were from Reading, PA.
Right.
And Reading had its own scene. They had Unisound, which was really like, for back then, they were doing dope show. They would have Judge, the earliest forms of Judge shows at Unisound. It was a good spot.
Was chronologically, was Mushmouth next for you, or why did I don't want to say, how did Krutch kind of come to an end? How did the hand play out?
You know what, Krutch, we were in Japan. We were like doing some cool things for the time. Like we did Europe. We were on, like, I remember we did like with Full Force Fest with Krutch. And it was like, tens of thousands of people in front of us. We were like, yo, this is crazy. Then we had the thing in Japan. We were in Japan, and I remember our singer got off the phone, and he was at like a Dunkin' Donuts or something. He got off the payphone, and he looked all bummed out. His face was all long looking. I said, what's wrong with you? He's like, yo, when we get home, could you get me in the union? Because I was already in the union.
Right.
I was like, yeah, why? What's up? He's like, I talked to my girl, yo, she's having a baby.
Woo!
So oh, all right. So we get home. I talk to the union people. All right, I call him up. I'm like, yo, you could do this. He's like, nah, don't even worry about it. I joined the military. I was like, oh shit, that's a wrap. But he did the right thing. He had to do that, And he's still into this day. He's still in the military, that dude.
So Krutch never played again?
Nah. I mean, we might have had some area shows, but never did anything of significance.
But that was the name of that tune. That was it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. That is wild, man.
Yeah, man.
That's wild. And so what came next for you musically?
Man, let's say I did the Come and Correct stuff, which was kind of like we did a 4-song thing with Krutch that we were gonna put on a 7-inch.
Right.
And me and the singer at the time had a little beef, and he left the studio and he only recorded 2 songs. I was like, what the fuck? He only recorded 2 songs. And it was Rick from 25 to Life that was going to put out this 7-inch. So I was like, Rick, we only got 2 songs. He's like, I could have sworn you recorded 4. I was like, yeah, we did for music, but the only vocals on 2. He's like, oh, you mind if I take those other 2? I'll sing on them. We'll start something else. I said, yeah, go ahead. So then we did a split 7 with the 2 songs.
That's actually pretty cool. I mean, that it played out. That it played out that way.
And the other band on the split was a band called Surrounded, which had a guy in it called Keith Isola that was from New York but moved to Stroudsburg. And this dude ended up starting his own shit. He was like tour manager for Limp Bizkit and Korn, and then later on worked with like Madball. Now he's like a manager for like big names and like skateboarder dudes and this and that. He was in that band Surrounded. That was on the other side of the split. But that's how Come and Correct got started, with just 2 songs that were left over from Krutch.
But if I remember correctly, I mean, Come and Correct. I mean, listen, in retrospect, Rick booked a lot of shows, and I remember you guys were out there playing a lot of shows with him, right?
Yeah, he was super. This guy was on a mission. Like he booked. He had connections. He would drive to shows alone with all of his stuff, and he'd take some of their product, he'd leave some of his product, he'd set up the shop. So he knew a lot of people. Definitely he was like an asset, especially at that time, to know. And Come and Correct was fun, but it was always like a little too half-ass for me, where you get a little upset. You don't want to I don't mind kind of like being a free spirit, but I don't want to sound like shit either. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a little rehearsed and pound them out and feel like a little confidence. With him, it's just like, hey, we don't have a drummer, right? Let's play anyway. What are you, crazy? Like, you can't play.
It was like that's my own perception of it. It was always, hey, whatever it is, it is. Whoever shows up in it, whatever. With him,
it was like, yo, play by any means. With me, it's like, at least sound dope. And if people don't like you, they can't say you sucked. Like, they can say, oh, I don't like it, but they know how to play. I want at least that, you know what I mean? But yeah, we bounced stuff off Rick a lot, and a lot of shows through him. I can't lie, even though I don't get on with the guy. But at the time, that was the dude. I was with that guy every day, all day.
Hey, there was a time when I considered Rick a friend. And me and Rick were cool, and it's sad. It's sad what happened to him. Yeah. RS70S. Are you still cool with Rick? I don't think anybody's really cool.
No, not at all. The guy's bananas. But I remember one time I was staying at Rick's house, right? And he lived in kind of like a little hoodie spot. He lived over this little deli. And we woke up and his van was robbed. And he kept all his shit in the van. And he was bugging out. We're like, oh, shit, we had to go somewhere. And as we're leaving, he lives in Patterson, New Jersey. As we're leaving, we saw all the little brothers in the neighborhood on bikes with Come and Correct and 25 to Life shirts on. Like, they just gave the shirts out through the whole hood. Yeah, and everybody was wearing the products. He was beeping at everybody. So, yeah, you motherfucker, I'm gonna get that back. I said, you ain't getting shit back, yo. It's theirs now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had a lot of good times with him, but like the dude is like, I don't even understand. Like,
yeah,
if people say he's nuts. If he's nuts, I still don't give a fuck. Like, I don't give a free pass for being nuts. That's not, you know what I mean? Like, figure it out by now. You're nuts for 1 year, 2 years, 10 years. You're nuts. Get the fuck out of here. No more.
Right. Absolutely. And tell us about, I know this might have been happening simultaneously, but tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, this is Mushmouth. And in Mushmouth eventually it would turn into Out to Win, which was the name of the first Mushmouth album. So you got the dude with the blonde hair, second from the left, that's Chris Hensel, the singer. He owns some tattoo shops in Columbus, Ohio now. That's my man. Good guy. And right in the center, that's Chris Mahmood, the owner of Reverb, and the guy I was saying from that band, the early Reading SWAT. And these guys were both in Reading, and they were like key figures out there to keep stuff moving in like that spot. Because I'm nowhere near Reading. Like people sometimes they see me out there a lot, but Reading is almost like 2 hours from where I live, So these were the guys. And when they needed somebody, I wasn't in the band from the beginning, but I was by the first album. I was in the mix. Eventually, though, I had to leave. And when I left, Mad Joe took over my spot. And the singer of Wisdom of Change was in this band after that. Eventually, I moved back, and we were all in this band together. And this is kind of the prelude when Mushmouth broke up, which is we dispute why we broke up, but we blame Chris Hensel, but he doesn't remember when we talk about the situation. When we broke up, I was living with Mad Joe, the Wisdom singer, and he's like, yo, I still want to do something. And that's when kind of Wisdom started. We were talking to some dudes overseas. And even in the mix with Boxcutter, like with Stickman, that was another thing, a project we had with Krutch where we had extra songs. And I knew Stickman was like out of business with the music at the time. And I said, Stickman can't be sitting home and not doing any music. You know what I mean? He's got to be creative. So that's how that started. We sent him some of those songs, so. And there's always songs to go out to somebody,
Yeah. And Boxcutter, you guys toured a little bit too, right?
With Boxcutter, we played like 2 or 3 shows max.
Okay.
Because everybody else was in something else. We would play like benefits,
right?
And stuff like that. We did 1 show in Europe.
Like I remember. There was a Europe show. Right?
Yep. We did some crazy weird show in like New York State and like a benefit for I think it was a benefit for like Kev One in like somewhere in New Jersey. And that was like only 3 shows that I remember that we did. Yep. But it was fun to record because we didn't really do anything like that, some fantasy stuff,
Yeah. Here you go, Michael. Michael Springle says, yeah, bro, I played with you guys at Scarlet's in 95. I was in Scatophagus. Is that Scartophagus? Scatophagus. Yeah. My boys are surrounded.
Yeah, I remember that name.
That's a hard name. Yo, we're surrounded. That's hard.
I always tell my guitar player, Chris Mavromatis, I was like, yo, Scatophagus is a Greek band. He's like, shut up. No, they're not. I'm like, yeah, they're Greek. But surrounded. Yeah, like because there was their own scene they had in Lehigh Valley with a lot of the bands. There was a band called Insangel from out there, and it was cool. And the band Dysphoria that did a lot of stuff. They were kind of from that area, and but that area used to have like a big, more than us anyway, big like metal influence. Scatophagus.
I like that. Scatophagus.
Yeah, that's hard.
Let's talk about this guy a little bit. Boom.
Oh, see, people won't even know. You said guess.
Yeah,
I guess on that. Who's that?
Yeah, who's it? Yeah, okay. Who is in this? Okay. Second photo of the day. Who is in this photo with Richie? Anybody?
And why am I holding a quarter? I want to know. I wonder.
Yeah. Who are you guys in the You guys in the casino?
About to drop that in the slot, baby. That's my lucky spot. Drop it in the slot.
Well, I think there's a clue here if you look at the hat that he's wearing, right? That kind of.
Yeah. Boy, look at the lips on him too. It's not bad.
Is that Joe Hardcore? There you go.
I guessed it right off the bat. That's Joe Hardcore back in the day.
So you go back with him, huh?
Yeah. At one time we were kind of like enemy people, or at least my friends and his friends were like enemies, but we always stayed tight because there would be constant battles. Like if you go to a different scene, somebody's going to look at you wrong and everybody starts fighting. Nobody even knows why. and it was we always like would beef with people from Philly for some reason, and like that band Bad Luck 13. Those guys used to go crazy. We'd have fights with them. Like these are all our friends now, but back then it was like everybody at all times was like fighting. I remember Joe booked a show in Philly, and it was in like the hood. It was in the hood where they lived. I mean, these dudes were from the hood, like Joe and his friends.
Right.
It was rough spots. But they would do like PA style, rent a VFW hall on the corner of the block and do a show.
Right.
And all hell broke loose.
And they would invite bands to play and then fight with them.
Yeah. Well, the thing would be like the local neighborhood people would say, "Oh, let's go to the show and enjoy it," and kind of, you know, each other. But Joe booked a show, all hell broke loose. His dudes fighting, my friends fighting. But Joe stayed in the venue at the end, and we were in there with him, but his friends all bounced, and the place was devastated. And I was like, "Damn, your friends did this shit." He's like, "Dude, I just lost my deposit. $500 down the drain." And I was like, "Nah, fuck it. Don't sweat it. We'll help clean up and stuff." And then we became friends, you know, more so. We were kind of cool, but that night we stayed with him. I told everybody, let's help him clean up this place, because he was much younger than me, or at the time it felt like he was much younger than me, you know, like years back then made more of a difference. So I saw him as like a teenager that took a shot. Yeah, there he is. We actually had a fight in that. It was jiu-jitsu versus boxing, and I took him out, son. That's it. Look at that face, though. He changed from the other picture.
Yeah. I mean, but he's had quite. Go
ahead.
He's had quite a success with This Is Hardcore, and you know he has stayed the course and really has created one of the premier, you know, really independent festivals, you know, hardcore festivals in America, right?
Yeah, and he's relentless and a hustler.
Yeah,
and you know, and we started booking stuff with him, with the guy from Mushmouth who owns Reverb. They teamed up with Keystone Jam and the Holiday Jam, which we got coming up, like if December, I forget when, December 11th.
I got that. Yeah, I got that. We'll get to
that. So that's him, me, and Chris. We booked that, and it was kind of like a combined forces, because why not? It's all PA, you know. But This Is Hardcore that's the epitome. That's like what it's all about, you know, right now. And trust me, when he does that, it consumes his whole year, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of operation he runs. He's very thorough. Like I wish I had some of those qualities. I'm a little more half-assed with stuff, but this dude he's by the book.
No, I definitely respect his hustle, and I enjoyed having him on the show. You know, love what he's doing down there. He works hard, man, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Funny guy too.
Yeah.
And he's also a concrete guy like me.
Yeah, that's right. He's not local 18, right? No.
I don't know his local because he's out of Philly.
Oh,
but he's a finisher. He's a concrete finisher.
Right.
Yeah.
How'd you get into that?
There were some Irish guys that lived out by me in PA.
Uh-huh.
And I was dating this one dude's daughter way back.
Uh-huh.
And this is going back like 25 years. And he hooked me up. He got me in a union. I'm still cool with him to this day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he told his son Seamus, who was a total insane person. He's like, get Richie a job. He's a good lad. Get him a job. And Seamus just like, yo, just come to my job. Seamus was born in America, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I show up to the job, and Seamus's nickname is the Brute. They call him the Brute. Because he attacks everybody. And they're like, Seamus, who's this boy you bring with you? He's like, shut up. Give him a fucking job. Let him work. And like, calm yourself. We'll let him work. Don't you worry. We'll let him work. And I'm like, I'm already like, oh man, like you know, like when you're not around, no, the boss is gonna take it out on me. You're talking to him like that. So he got me in. I got my book, and then I've been in ever since. Local 18A is called, out of Bronx, New York, Katona Avenue.
And is that right? You travel from where you live into New York City to work?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, how does that work?
You know, I wake up early.
You don't drive, do you?
I drive to a bus stop. I jump on a bus. Bus takes me to Port Authority. From there, I take the subway where I got to go.
You drive to a bus that's what, like somewhere near the Philly area?
No, it's by me. This whole area where I live, Stroudsburg, is the #1 commuter spot in the country for people with the longest commutes, because almost everybody here still works in New York City. Like, this is the spot.
Not Philly, New York City.
I'm closer to New York City than Philly.
I'm that
actually
right?
close. Yeah, it'll take me like an hour 45 minutes to get to Philly. It takes me like an hour 10 minutes to get to Manhattan.
I see. So you're on that bus each way every day. It gives you a chance to get your Instagram, Facebook game on, or to do the other stuff that you love doing, or to catch a little more sleep, right?
It is sort of like office time, definitely. I can't really sleep around strangers, so it's hard for me to sleep.
Yeah.
But I could catch up on that stuff. Tomorrow I'm working at the Federal Reserve downtown.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Right on.
But all over, different spots all the time.
Yeah. But that's great. You have a routine and it works for you. Let me take a sponsor break here. We'll come back and we got a special guest. We got Josh from Chain Reaction Records coming on. We're going to talk about some records and stuff. Okay. See you in a couple minutes.
All right, buddy.
Well, there you have it. What's up? It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and our guest today is Richie Krutch from Wisdom in Chains, and we're going to talk about his new band Z9 and the Post American podcast, the Fast Break Records, and a lot more. We are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, DTFM, Vinyl Distro, Chacho's Tacos, and since 1992, Generation Records has been a mainstay of the New York metropolitan area music scene. Today, they offer a diverse selection of new and used rock, jazz, indie, hip-hop, punk, hardcore, metal, blues, soundtrack, and reggae LPs, as well as T-shirts, posters, and other merchandise. They buy used record collections and music memorabilia and will pay you top dollar for them. House calls made for large collections in the tri-state area. Call or email generationrecords@gmail.com and follow them on Facebook and on Instagram. Also, come on now, Debo the Pro, Lee Fairley, New York Hardcore Comics opened back in 2013, selling comic books, punk rock, and hardcore memorabilia, toys, statues, skateboard decks, vinyl, and all things horror. We love helping bands push their demos and new tracks, so please stop by and drop off your new music. We have in-store events like Magic the Gathering and Warhammer tournaments, plus meet and greets with bands and some live performances. Open 7 days a week and shipping worldwide. Find us online through Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and eBay. Located at 117 Main Street in lovely Dobbs Ferry, New York. www.newyorkhardcorecomics.com. You know what? I got to take this opportunity to mention that I am doing a book signing event for my new book, The New York Hardcore Chronicles, 1980 through 1989, at New York Hardcore Comics. Yes, this book is coming out, and I will be doing a book signing event at New York Hardcore Comics on Saturday, November 13th. There is a show right after. And listen, the real reason I'm doing it is there is free home-cooked Italian food compliments of Miss Joanne DeSculio. Vinny Stigma had an event there, and there was this homemade Italian food that someone's mom brought, and it was outrageous. And I told him, look, I'll do a book event up there, but you got to get that food back. So the headline here is free home-cooked Italian food compliments of Mrs. Joanne DeSculio, excuse me. So the show that night is at the Sawmill Tavern with Ape, Examine, Skull Splitter, and Drunken Rampage. So that's going down. That's going down up there. You want one what? You want one of the books? Hold on, we're getting to that. I haven't done the book signing yet, bro. The book signing's November 13th. You know? Yes. Yep. New York Comics. Yep. Yeah. Home cooking and hardcore. It's a win-win. The book can be purchased here at www.stonefilmsnyc.com. All right. The book is at the print. Oops. What the hell did I just do? Hold on a second. And once in a while, you hit a random button on the keyboard. It's like, what just happened? Here it is, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles, Volume 1, 1980 to 1989, a flyer oral history. This is 5 years in the making. It is told through the flyers of the era, has a lot of voices in here that's no longer with us. We hear from Todd Youth. We hear from Jack Flanagan from the Mob. 500 numbered and signed copies. Please buy the book. Support the show. It's available at www.stonefilmsnyc.com. It's $24.95. Also, yes, patrons get it free. If you are a patron, you get this book for free. All you have to do is pay for the shipping. It's $7 domestic, $24 overseas. So if you are a patron, and let me put the patron address up there. If you're a patron, there you go. Please be a patron. If you're not already, you get the book for free. So jump on there and check it out. Yeah, well, go ahead and buy it. It's $24.95. Yep, the book. Rat Bones, do you get a free book? I don't know, man. We'll think about it, bro. Not sure, but there's the Patreon page. I want to shout out some of my new patrons: Mike LaRouche, Jimmy Kuskis, Michael Gibbons, Danny C, and Jorge Rodriguez. Yeah, we're going to see you up there, New York Hardcore Comics. I want to mention a couple shows that are coming up. Okay, let me get rid of all this other stuff. A very heavy show coming up. This Wednesday, October 27th, we're doing a Scott Koenig tribute show. Scott Koenig was a near and dear friend of mine. He put me on back in the day. He managed Biohazard, Fear Factory, Earth Crisis, Madball for a while. At one point, he was one of my best friends in the world. And so this Wednesday, we're doing a tribute to him. He just recently passed away. We're going to have members from Biohazard, Bobby Hamble and Danny Schuler on. We're going to have Dino from Fear Factory, A&R legend Mike Gitter, John Wedge Brannon, tour manager, and a bunch of other people. It's going to be a very heavy show. Halloween, October 31st. We got Eddie Sutton coming on the show of Leeway. Eddie hasn't, that's Halloween, bro. Trick or treat, Eddie Leeway, 3 to 6. Wednesday, November 3rd. It's the first of our Side Trips series. I'm excited. We have Adam and the Metal Hawks on. And then Wednesday, November 10th, we got Andrew Klein from Strife on. So got some great shows coming up, but man, the Scott Koenig one's going to be heavy this Wednesday. I still can't believe Scott's gone, man. I'm really just I'm in shock about it. Here's the book cover, by the way. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles, Volume 1, 1980-1989. It can be purchased at www.stonefilmsnyc.com. It's $24.95 plus shipping. So go ahead, buy the book. Go buy the book. Do it. Do it to it. They're coming from the printer very, very soon. Upstate Rick, what's up, brother? I only had a couple interactions with Scott, but he was always a genuine dude with me. He will be missed. Yeah. Yep. Give us a tone on the guitar. Do you mean a tune on the guitar? Nah, not. I haven't been playing much guitar lately. You know, I wouldn't say I lost interest, but I haven't been playing guitar much at all. Probably because I have a film coming out, a book coming out, shows twice a week, Antidote NYHC shows constantly, and that record coming out. I'm saving the Galaxy from imminent deduction, and I'm trying to pay attention to my girlfriend. So there you go. There's the book address. Buy the book. Everybody buy the book. I'll sign it. I'll write something nice for you. What else? We mentioned the book signing, this and that. Okay, we're good. Everybody, take it easy. I'm driven. You know. Let's bring on our guest, Mr. Rich. I'm driven, Richie.
Me too, baby. Driving all over.
You know what I mean?
Drew, take it easy. LOL, Bryant.
You know, like I already fucked off enough in my life. I'm like driven now, man.
You're doing a lot, man.
You know,
but when you were talking though, I couldn't concentrate because I'm looking at that typo thing behind you, that record, man. Damn, I want that. What is that?
Do you? Hold on.
What the fuck is that? Is that what I think it is? Let's get a closer look. Where'd he go? I don't even see him.
I mean, it's a gold record.
Wow.
This is a. I'll explain what this is. This is
Bloody Kisses.
This is a typo negative gold record for Bloody Kisses. You can see to Stone Films NYHC, right? This is a gold record for Bloody Kisses that was presented to me and the director of the video, Paris Mayhew. You know, we did the Black #1 video back in the day.
Dope.
So that's that, and you know, we did Onyx Slam and Onyx Shifty and all that. We did Run DMC, Ooh, What You Gonna Do, Off Down with the King. The Judgment Night gold record was presented to me by Biohazard because I was in that camp at the time, and actually talk about Scott Koenig, recently departed. You know, he was managing them, and you know, when that went gold, they because I was part of the team, I got one. You know,
that is sick, man.
Drew, show the thing above Michael Alago's photo. Oh, it's a slate, man. What are we doing? Fucking show and tell here?
What's that?
This is a slate. It's a movie slate. It's funny because what's on it is director Drew Stone, the No Redeeming Social Value video, Rap Bones.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, right. This was been used a million times. This was on the wall at my godfather's. He owns a movie equipment rental house, and this is like from the 70s and the 80s. And he's like, "You want it? Take it." So this is like a real old school. This is a film slate when back in the day you shot film and you had audio, right? And you had to match them up. And how would you match it up with this? This is what you would hear and see, and you'd match the audio track to the right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that typo, I need that. Call the guys.
Yo, you know what I had? I had an Insane Clown Posse one, and some juggalo maniac from Pennsylvania just offered me. In the end, I just it's yours, bro.
Yeah.
You
gave it to him, or you sold it? You sold it.
No, dude, $1,000 cash, bro.
Wow. Damn.
He found me. He's like, yo, you know, would you want to sell that for $400? I'm like, dude, I'm not selling my gold records, right?
Yeah.
Then he went 5, then he went 6. I'm like, bro, I'm not selling my gold records. Then he went up to, he's like 8. And I just said, listen, dude, you want to give me $1,000 cash? I'll meet you in, where is it where Larry Holmes is from?
Easton.
Yo, you give me $1,000 cash, I'll meet you on the street corner at Easton, son. And,
yeah.
And this was at the beginning of the pandemic, you know?
The Easton Assassin.
Yeah, man. Yo, he owns like half of Easton.
Yo, that's one of the best jabs in heavyweight history. PA.
He was a Muhammad Ali sparring partner, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a great jab, man. He had a great jab.
Great job. And a great record. I think he's not really praised as much as he should be, because when he beat Ali, he got a lot of enemies.
Well, and he was a great heavyweight. He fought everybody, man. I mean, you look about that stretch he had, he fought everybody.
Yeah. And that one loss where he would have beat Rocky Marciano's record.
Yeah.
I think he got robbed.
That was against Michael Spinks.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong on who it was with, but he got. I remember watching it on HBO and being like, "Oh, he got robbed."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Upstate Rick says it's well known everything of Drew's is for sale.
That's the way to be, though. Don't get attached to nothing.
Bro, I live in one room, dude.
Yeah, look at me. I live in a basement.
Yeah, look at you, man. I thought that was your studio.
No, this is where I sleep. I sleep in the basement of this old warehouse.
That's awesome. Hey, let's bring our friend Josh from Chain Reaction Records on. Hey, what's up, Josh?
Yo, what's happening?
How are you, buddy?
Doing pretty well, man. Doing pretty well. It's been laying low a little bit, man, but I did get out to a show. I've been to 2 shows this summer, fall. So Wu-Tang up at Red Rocks, and then a couple weeks ago, Youth of Today. So that
wait. The Wu-Tang Clan played Red Rocks?
Oh yeah.
Like just them, or was it part of a package?
No, it was Big Boy opened, and it was them with the Colorado Symphony. And they showed the 36th chamber of the Shaolin movie in the background, kind of talked about their favorite parts of the movie, and then they do a song. It was really cool.
Hey, you ever played Red Rocks, Richie?
Never.
Do you know about this venue?
Yeah.
It's like a natural amphitheater, like
Yeah, that'd be sick. That show that he just described is sick. Damn.
Yeah, they don't do too many like heavier shows up there anymore. I mean, I've seen Slayer at Red Rocks a couple times. King Diamond.
I was there with Biohazard. I forgot who Biohazard was playing with. Insane Clown Posse?
Maybe there was that.
I can't believe. I know we did a Biohazard Insane Clown Posse tour. I cannot believe that they let Insane Clown Posse play Red Rocks.
Yeah,
was it Machine Head? Biohazard Machine Head?
No, I wasn't. No, it was Biohazard. Biohazard Sepultura? I don't know.
Oh, that might be, yeah. But
yeah,
they don't.
No, Josh, who was Josh? Who was on bass with Youth of Today? Was it Craig? Was it that lineup?
Yeah, it was. Yep.
How was it?
It was fucking awesome, man.
Nice.
It was a one-off here. They flew into Denver, did that show, and then Vegas the next night.
What a bass player, that guy. What a bass player.
Shouting out Paris Mayhew from Chromags. I saw the Woo at Coachella with the orchestra. Epic.
Oh no shit.
Huh.
Damn. I've been watching that series too. You watch that?
No, I've been watching. My kids been telling me to watch it. I'll probably start it here.
I like it. It's pretty dope, man. So you get some really good episodes, some crap episodes, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Is it a documentary or is it like it's like what do you call that?
Like a biopic.
It's like biopic, actors playing the role, and they make it funny, and they make it like half fantasy, and it's good. I guess it's it's close to the real story, but I'm sure they took some liberties.
Yeah, for sure.
Pepe says it was ICP, Biohazard, and Cold Chamber.
Wow. I did not.
I can't believe they let Insane Clown Posse play.
Yo, Insane Clown Posse got clout, and they bring the people. They got that money behind them.
Speaking of Paris Mayhew, he directed the Insane Clown Posse video Chicken Hunt, and I produced it. Dude, that was quite an adventure, man.
Chicken Hunt?
Chicken hunting.
Oh my God.
And I told the story. Now it's not the time for it, but I just got to say that when they first sent us the material and we looked at it, we were like, what is this? It was like clowns rapping. We were like, what? And the best part of it is you could, on the set, you could say, okay, you clowns.
Shit.
Yo, imagine that somebody brings you that idea and you're like, you're a financer. Oh, we're clowns that rap. It'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Next thing you know, these guys pull it in. They're making money.
Dude, we were like, what is this? And then we researched it and we were like, and people were like, yo, they're happening. Right. Yeah. They got like, they had like, they got signed by a major because they couldn't be denied anymore because they were just blowing up.
Yeah. And like DIY style.
Yeah.
Early on, they just everything,
Last thing on this. When I was on that tour, they were the first band that I saw. They bootlegged their own shit. They were signed to a major. The record was out on a major label, and they went and bootlegged that recording and were selling it at the shows, so this way they could see all their own money, all the money.
Yeah, there you go.
I like that, man. I like that operation.
Yeah. Hey, Josh, what do you got? Tell us about what's the latest.
Yeah, I got a few things here. Puke and Vomit Records out of Southern California been hot on the repress game lately. Doing a lot of UK 82 stuff, some early hardcore stuff, and some new releases as well. I've got Jack Control from World Burns to Death, Severed Head of State, remastering all these albums. The first one here, I don't think this has seen an official repress since it was released in 82, but RF7, Weight of the World. Classic hardcore, not your typical SoCal stuff. Doesn't have like the surf beats in the back. It's a little more aggressive. Great band, great album. This Chaos UK. If you like it noisy and dirty and in English, there you go. And sporting the shirt and Stalag 13. This is their new album. So this album just came out this summer. They've got 3 of the 5 original members. The vocalist moved to Australia and kind of handed the keys over to the new guy, gave him his his backing, said, "Yep, totally cool, take over. I'm leaving." And so this album, a lot of the songs on this were written back at the time of the No Control album, 83, 84. So they have that older sound to them. Even the production's obviously going to be a little bit more modern. And they redo a couple of the old classic songs. I was really excited by this album. I love the original Stalag 13 album. And they're coming to Denver. So the same guy that flew in Youth of Today is flying in these guys for a show in December. We get to play with them. So super excited about that. But, one of the big 4 of Nardcore up there with Aggression, Dr. No.
Nardcore?
Nardcore.
I'm not familiar with this term.
Not familiar with Nardcore. So it's Oxnard, California.
Oh, Oxnard,
Dr.
California.
No, Aggression, Ill Repute.
Nardcore.
Yeah.
Did you know that, Richie? Nardcore?
Yes, I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so a lot of the bands use that O crossed out. Oxnard, Nardcore.
OX.
Yeah. This, I don't have it in the shop. I couldn't get it wholesale, but I figured this crowd would appreciate it. This just got repressed on some cool yellow vinyl. You can get it from Revelation.
Is that Revelation put that out? That's Revelation?
Revelation didn't put it out. Looks like Pipe Bomb Music, but Revelation's distributing it. So if that strikes your fancy, head over to the Revelation site before they're sold out, because I imagine it's gonna move pretty quick.
Wow.
And speaking about the clock ticking, if you're a Slayer fan, especially the early albums, Show No Mercy, Haunting the Chapel, and my personal favorite Slayer album, Hell Awaits, get moving. These just dropped on Friday. I ordered 10 copies of each, and we're down to just a couple. So
I mean, that stuff was originally released on vinyl, right?
Oh yeah. So these are Metal Blade still has the rights, so these are all on Metal Blade.
I see. So they're all like quality, like
180 gram vinyl, colored vinyl, and with a big fold out poster of the album cover.
What does something like that go for? What are you selling out in the store for?
$33.
Wow.
And an original copy of this on Metal Blade is going to probably run you $80 to $100.
No kidding.
And this is going to sound so much better than your original copy.
Is that right?
Just better vinyl, just a better quality product. And so, sometimes I end up replacing my old albums with the new ones because it's just so much better sounding. The last one I have here, anybody in the New York area there might be familiar with, some cats out of Westchester, out of the Peekskill, Montrose area, Toxic. So they were cool.
Is that is that a reissue?
Yeah, this is a reissue too.
Was that on In Effect?
Toxic? No, they weren't on in effect. I can't remember what label they were on. This is on Massacre Records out of Germany.
Right. Got it.
I think I never got to see these guys, but I do think I saw them play hacky sack one time when I was when I was a kid wandering down Kings Ferry Road in Montrose, New York, and they were all hanging out on the corner in their Slayer t-shirts and stuff, and I was, listening to Def Leppard on my boombox. So that made an impression on me.
Richie, was Slayer a band that played into your musical development early on?
Yeah, I liked Slayer, but not the super early stuff. It was like a little too fast for me all the time,
Yeah.
But from like South of Heaven and Seasons in the Abyss, I love those two albums, especially Seasons. Yeah, that was where I was like, I was trying to bite them and shit back then. But yeah, definitely Slayer. I mean, you can't say anything bad. You can say I don't like it anymore. I don't like, but it's not like they went in a different direction. It's not like they surprised you and did something you didn't expect from them. It's just like, dude, they're just on, they did their thing their way from day one. If anything, they got even heavier, and
they definitely got heavier and even faster. And
it reminds me.
I look back, like Hell Awaits is probably my favorite because that was the first one I ever owned, and then South of Heaven and Seasons in the Abyss.
Incredible. And the production on that for as early as it was sounds great.
I remember Tom, they asked him in an interview, what's the new Slayer record going to sound like? And he said, it's going to sound like a Slayer record.
Yeah.
It's like they did what they did. They never really deviated from the theme. At what point, and now I hated Slayer when they came out. I couldn't stand that shit. I didn't like Metallica. I didn't like any of that stuff. I was like a hardcore dude, like I was into hardcore shit, and like that. I was like all about like New York hardcore. Like that's it. Like that stuff was like that Slayer shit was corny to me. It was like, I just thought it was corny, like singing like that kind of like, hell and all that shit.
And the spikes and stuff, I never liked that route with the spikes and all that.
Listen, I learned to appreciate them. I certainly have learned to appreciate these bands, but at the time being, a teenager or whatever, I couldn't, I was more into like songs about unity.
Yeah. No, we listened to it all. Like when Hell Awaits dropped, I was probably 14, maybe 14. But I think we talked about this before. We were all crossover kids. We were into DRI, Corrosion Conformity, Accused, Cryptic Slaughter, Agnostic Front, Cro-Mags, Slayer, Metallica, Anthrax. That was our thing. Yeah.
You would see that. You would see a vest, and it would have a Slayer patch and a Cro-Mags patch. 100%. Yeah. Like it was a lot of the same people, the same fans back then.
Yeah. And then, of course, here in New York City, you have, like Cro-Mags Best Wishes. Or the Leeway record, or
Best Wishes. Unpopular opinion, but that's my favorite Cro-Mags album.
Is that right?
Ooh.
Yeah.
That hurt my heart, but that's
I know, but I that's my go-to one.
Yeah.
I just gave it a good. I had Paris on the show. I just gave it a good hard listen. Like really, gave it a real good listen. And I mean, I wish they could take a crack at remixing it. I always sort of had a little issue with the, maybe the vocals were a little muddy. Like that record's pretty great.
Yeah, for me it was like the length of the songs. Just what I mean. The songs seemed a little longer than I was used to with the Cro-Mags and But I mean,
Death Camps and Crush the Demoniac. Man, those fucking songs.
There's definitely strong songs on it. Definitely some killer riffs. You know? Yeah.
For sure.
The Mags, what could you say?
Is it snowing out there yet, Josh?
No, it was like 75 degrees a couple days ago, but we did have some snowflakes a couple weeks ago.
Wow. But Jesus Christ.
We usually get our first big snow right around Halloween, so any day now.
Now, I couldn't help but notice, being that you ordered the book, that you live in Golden, Colorado.
Yeah. So
is that the home of Coors?
Yeah. Yep, the big Coors factory downtown Golden. I live a little bit closer to. I live on the very edge of Golden, like Lakewood. Just Denver suburbs, you know. I live 10 minutes from downtown.
How far are you from Salt Lake City?
Salt Lake City's about 8 hours.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, that's too much.
You know, out there it's
Over
like
the
that's typical though. Like, I think like people are used to the next city is 8 hours away kind of vibe. You know.
Yeah, that's the way it is out here. You go south to go to Albuquerque, 8 hours.
Yeah.
Head out to Kansas City, 8 hours.
See me, I'll get to Boston in 4 hours. I'll get to Baltimore in 3 hours. I'll get to New York in an hour. Philly in less than 2 hours.
No, we're landlocked. We're stuck in the.
I was gonna say come to Salt Lake, but that's a little far. Far.
Hey, before I jump off, I want to give a couple shout outs, homies we lost in the last week. Rick Espinoza out in LA. You know, he booked some shows for us over the years. Good dude. Lost him. And then whether you know him by Skinhead Tommy or Puerto Rican Tommy, Brooklyn Tommy, lost him as well this last week. In his memorials this afternoon down at Goosetown downtown. So peace, dudes.
All right, Josh. Hey, thank you. And Josh, thank you for being a sponsor of the show, man.
Yeah, you bet, man. Honored. I can't wait to get my book.
Yeah. Listen, you know, they're coming. You know, the printer gave me some line of malarkey about how there's a paper shortage and, you know, do you want to go with this other, you know, paper? And I said, no, I want to go with the paper. You know, because they wanted to push some like thinner paper on me. I'm like, dude, you put this thin paper, it's gonna be like a magazine. Yeah. I'm not trying to do a friggin' magazine here. So it just got pushed back a week, but you'll get it.
And Amy, the next time I'll see you, I'll have the Antidote 7-inch in the shop.
Hey, who's Brock's Punk Tommy? Is that Tommy Schlong?
No, I don't
Chucky.
know.
Yeah, I'll find out from Chucky. All right, Josh. We'll talk.
Nice to meet you, Richie.
You too, buddy. Take it easy.
Take care.
Take it easy. All right. Good dude. Good dude.
Good man. Good man.
Yeah. Let's talk about. It's funny. You're going to come on the show. We're going to do everything but talk about Wisdom and Shades, right?
That's all right, babe. We're just having a good time.
Yeah. It's pretty wild, though, right? How things go. But what I really want to talk about is Z9, and I've been listening to the stuff you sent me. Tell us about what's going on with this, man. Give us the background of the band. What was the impetus to put it together?
Z9. I started messing with that like last October. Wisdom and Chains was writing. We couldn't get anything going. Boom, boom, boom. We said let's start after the new year. You know what I mean? And it was like September when we said that. By October, I was bored, and I wanted to write some shit. I started writing some shit. Luke and Evan, you got the middle guy and the guy on the left. They reach out. They're bored too. They want to write music. I send them the stuff that I got so far to like, let us in. I said, no doubt, because I can't play drums like that. I can't play the bass like that. You know what I mean? These guys, they're masters of their positions. Yeah. So then they jumped in, and we did 5 originals and 1 cover. And I just wanted to have a project done by this October. Artwork done, the recording done, you know, get the photography out of the way, everything start to finish and out. And we did it. We wanted to keep busy, and we wanted to stay creative, and we went that route. We did the Z9 shit, you know.
And what's the origin of the name?
The name, there's a lot of meanings behind the name, but the main one that I wanted to throw on there was there's a secret society out there, and they have coded language, and one of the codes they use is Z9, and they use that for someone who has nothing to lose that they think is very dangerous. But then they started using it for anything. If it was a trip that was dangerous, it would be a Z9 trip. It was, you know, yeah. So it was just like it was coded for them, someone who has nothing to lose, but just eventually just became known as like dangerous situation. Z9.
And the debut, 6 songs. It's coming out in really a couple of days, right?
Yeah,
man. And it's coming out on Fast Break, correct?
Correct.
Now, Fast Break is your thing. Tell us about Fast Break, history of Fast Break.
Yeah, a few years back, a friend of ours who does Universal Warning Records hit up me, Chris Mahmood, who we talked about earlier. The owner of Reverb was in Mushmouth, Boxcutter with me. Our friend Tony, and he was like, "Yo, I know how to run a label, but I'd like you guys to be the label. You know what I mean? I'll do the stuff that I know. You guys find the bands, make the music, blah blah blah." So we put some money up and we started Fast Break Records. I don't know how many. It's been around for a minute now, 10 years actually.
Yeah. No, and I was, you guys put out a bunch of stuff, man.
Yeah, we put out stuff just as we see fit, stuff we like. We don't go crazy with anything.
Yeah.
And of course I put out my own stuff on that label, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to talk a little bit about Wisdom and Chains because the last two Wisdom records were on Fast Break, right?
Yeah.
And that's a testament to the DIY, ethic, the fact that in the end, and I very much relate to this because in the end, I'm better off putting out my own book
100%.
and having, I'm better off putting out my own book and selling, 1,000 copies of this than selling 5,000 copies of it.
Yeah.
And
getting
elsewhere.
30 cents off each, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Or the New York Hardcore Chronicles film, which I sold, 3,300 DVDs. It's like I'm a DIY kind of dude, but
that's the way to go because it's only in your interest. The only thing is, if you're kind of a lazy person, it does take work. It's a mission. It's around the clock. If you want to put out your own record, you don't just snap your fingers. If you want someone else to do it for you, all right, but the bulk of whatever might come of it is going to go towards them. You know what I mean? Even a podcast. You want to like podcasts? Nobody's going to do it for you. You got to go out and make it and figure it out how it works, figure out how to upload it, who's going to host it, the artwork, whatever it is, everything. Just
story of my life, bro.
Exactly.
Or I really story of my career in the last bunch of years, independent films, I do this pot, everything.
Yeah.
And that's okay, man.
I'm watching you do this, and this, what you're doing takes work. Takes work.
Well, I'm fortunate. People, I've created there is an infrastructure where people support me and people, love the show, and I'm very fortunate. Crucified Straight Edge Clothing is sort of a subsidiary of
Crucified Straight Edge is a merch brand that I do with Joe Hardcore and our friend Keith. Right. And it's a straight edge clothing line. We said, you know what? All the straight edge clothes looks like nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
Let's give it a little bit of an edge. You know what I mean? Enough with the feminized straight edge gear. Let's masculate it a little bit. And we did Crucified Straight Edge merch. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
So if you're straight edge, you want to look sharp, go to the page, get a shirt, get a pair of shorts. Thank us later.
If you're straight edge and you want to ramp up your game a little bit,
that's it. If you're not straight edge, stay the fuck away from that website.
Yeah, right. there you go. Here's now this is a twofold. I have two pictures here, right?
What is it?
Now don't. So this is the lead in to the second one. All right. This picture, right?
Oh shit.
This is now. You are drinking coffee?
Just for the picture. It's an empty cup.
Okay. So that ties in with...
You got to be sharp in the picture. You know what I mean?
Right. That ties in with this, right?
That's it. Yeah, man. All right. Shit, look. Yeah, look. We got it right here.
There you go.
Coffee, baby. Yeah, Dead Sled Coffee Company. Our friend Crystal hooked us up with them, and they said make an exclusive flavor. So we got the genius, our homie Luke on the drums, who's a coffee fanatic. I honestly never had coffee before. I don't drink coffee, but this smells great. But Luke came up with this recipe. He flew down to Colombia. He stayed with Domingo Sanchez for 6 months. He learned the in and outs of coffee making. He came up with this recipe, and boom, Amaretto Biscotti.
Is that Arabica really like or Robusta?
That's how you would need the expert Luke or Domingo to answer that question. I'm not sure. But people like it, man. It's doing good, and it really smells good. When people make it, I'm like, maybe I'll have a sip. But if I have a sip, then I have to jump off a bridge or something because I'm straight edge. No coffee.
Yeah, I don't mess with coffee, man. That shit bugs me out. Speaking of this guy, I want to play this clip. Let me play this clip.
Oh, there he is. Look at the size of the horn. This is a normal horn. Look at his.
What's that?
See the size of the horn he has on his chain? His Italian horn. Look at how big it is. Nobody got a horn that big. That's crazy.
It's like a rhino horn.
Yeah, look.
Wow.
It's a hard hitter, bro. It's a hard hitter. Yo, I got some news on Luke. I'm gonna put out some exclusive news right here on the New York Hardcore Chronicles. Luke, I'm pretty sure it's official. He's in a legendary New York hardcore band now. I'll give you 2 guesses.
Is it? Does one guy live in Little Italy?
No. That would be dope. I've been pushing for that. I can't get it going. I've been pushing for that for years. Why is he not in Agnostic Front? Like,
all right, do I get another clue?
It's 2-word band. The title is 2 words. And if I give you this, the initials, it should be easy. MP.
Maximum Penalty.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he's in with Maximum Penalty now. I think they're working on stuff.
I know Busky's out with Terror right now.
Yeah. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm sorry, Luke, and Maximum Penalty, but I'm pretty sure.
Well, I know. I mean, the last show they played one of our A7 shows. When it was the last show with Goat, because Goat moved away, and they haven't played since then.
Yeah, we were in Queens yesterday. We were in Astoria with Luke. Of course, he was there, and he was giving us the rundown. I said, "You mind if I mention this?" He said, "No, go ahead, bro." So here we go. Luke and Maximum Penalty.
How does that affect Wisdom and Chains?
We don't do too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we can't prevent a kid from following his dream. Yeah. Like I used to push Luke on Madball, Agnostic Front. He should be in these bands. He should be full time. He's that kind of a character. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I hope it works. There, look at him. Look how happy he is in that picture. Look,
he's a happy dude, man. And and that clip that I played, I shot that.
Night.
I shot that day in the park, and
so you felt his drumming when he plays. You feel it. You could feel his drumming.
Bro, I get up there with the camera. I just go. You're right. I just go. I go where the energy is.
Yeah.
And his level of and he's such a hard hitter, man.
Yeah. And Amale.
Yeah. Yep.
This is Colombia. This is Medellin. Yeah.
Wow. Look what's going on there, man.
Yo, it was dope. Good time. We had a lot of fun. It was just fly in. The guy's like, "Yo, you want to make a little vacation out of it?" He had us there like 4 days. Hooked up, beautiful hotel, played at one show, and it was like there was like one other heavy band on the bill. The band that played right before us was a Pink Floyd cover orchestra.
I love festivals and places like that where they mix it up, man. I love that.
It was incredible. We were watching them and we were like, "This is incredible, man." Yeah. Oh, look at Mad Joe. Look at Mad Joe's hand right there. That's a serious hand.
Yeah, it's like the size of a baseball mitt, bro.
That's a deadly hand. Like you get your throat crushed.
That's a mitt. That's a mitt.
If anybody in the band gets out of line, they get that hand. Look at him though. Wow. Yeah, this is
what's her name took this? Ann. This is an Ann photo. Ann Mays.
Oh, good shot. Look how she caught my guitar, man. She made that
Yeah.
guitar look. I love that guitar.
Yeah.
See, that's the Jeff Hanneman signature series.
Is that right?
Yeah. See the daggers on the fretboard. You can't kind of make it out, but yeah, it's the Jeff Hanneman signature series LTD ESP.
Is that your go-to these days?
100%. And that's my free Ziggy shirt. Fortunately, Ziggy has been freed since this photo.
Right. It just goes to show where are the shirts.
That's it. They were like, you know what? Who is this guy in the shirt? Let him out.
Let him free Ziggy already.
Yeah.
You know, is this when you travel now? I assume since she took the shot, this is probably over in Europe somewhere. You know.
Yeah, I might be wrong, but this might be Holland or Belgium or something.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, and took the shot, Lori. When you travel, you travel with two guitars, of course, right?
Yeah. Yep. I got this one and I got another one. It's also a LTD ESP. They hooked me up. They endorsed, so that's cool because I love those guitars anyway. But the other one is more of a flamboyant guitar. It's like sparkly silver.
Mm-hmm.
But if I break a string, I'm usually excited to pull that one out because people bug out when they see that. It's like almost like a glam rock guitar. You know what I mean? Yeah, I bring two guitars and then rent all the other gear.
Of course. What's going on here?
Oh, okay. This is this is like just chilling out. I think that's the Door Direct or whatever that is, somewhere in Germany. We were on tour definitely with Tara right there. We just seeing the sights. I look really confused. But looked like a rainy day. Maybe that's like Holland or something. They get weather like that.
That's a band that puts in work, man.
Terror is and it's very like that singer right there. Yo, that guy is relentless. Like if people aren't cooperating, I'm like, if people don't seem to like the show, I'm like, all right, one more song, let's get out of here. They don't like it.
Yeah, let's be out.
Yeah, we gave it a shot. They don't like it. What do you want me to do? I'm not gonna beg.
Move on.
But yo, the singer of this band is relentless. He
you
gets the crowd
pussies.
going one way or the other. He gets people going. I love. There's like a handful of bands that are really important, to hardcore as we know it. And that's one of the bands, Terror.
Yeah, I've learned to really appreciate them, and my good friend Jonathan Buskey's is back playing bass with them again.
What a good artist too, that Buskey.
Yeah, man. Buskey's
I was trying to get him to do the art on the Z9 album, but he's always too busy for us.
Yeah, it's dude. I tried to get him to design this friggin' thing.
The guy says no. We had him do one album, Wisdom and Chains album. It's my favorite layout ever, and respect to Buskey for the art skills.
Yeah.
It's called
I like this one, especially. I like the expression on your face of this one.
Yeah. Look, that's around.
That's
in Brooklyn. That's in Brooklyn.
At the bowl, right?
It might be.
Yeah. That's in front of the Black and Blue Bowl.
What month was that?
It's always the same. It's always in May. Oh, and there's my Polish brothers behind you. Serious Brooklyn. My Brooklyn Polish brothers are right behind you. Brooklyn. Skinhead Polish team right there.
Yeah, they look familiar.
Hard Polish skinheads.
People. Yeah, they could take a punch too. The Polish people. You can't
these dudes are no joke.
Yeah, their heads are like.
And they love New York hardcore.
Yeah, 100%.
Like big
respect to the Poles.
Yeah, big supporters of New York hardcore. Let's do this. Let's take. Let me take my last sponsor break. We'll come back and we'll take questions from around the world.
No doubt, I'll be here.
We'll say hi to Rap Bones too, all right?
Got it.
Well, there you go. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles live. It's alive. And our guest is Richie Krutch Mancuso from Wisdom and Change and currently Z9. Get your questions together or any shout outs. It's Sunday shout out today. We are the New York Hardcore Chronicles and we are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Chacho's Tacos, Generation Records, and, come on now, The Organic Grill. It's a vegan restaurant located in East Village, New York City at 123 First Avenue, featured in New York Magazine, New York Times, and the infamous, legendary Veg News. Their dishes have won numerous awards, including Best Goddamn Veggie Burger. They make their own cheeses, sausages, and burger patties, and every dish on the menu could be made gluten-free. This year, they're celebrating their 21st anniversary, and they're all about having a great time while enjoying amazing, clean food. They have now fully reopened for business and look forward to seeing you. Yes, you. Get in touch with them and order some great food at www.theorganicgrill.com. Come on now, DTFM Vinyl Distro is a record store specializes in underground music, punk, ska, hardcore metal, and more. Located in the heart of Fargo, North Dakota's industrial district. Shop in person or online at www.dtfmvinyldistro.com, where the motto is death to false metal. Want to mention a couple other upcoming shows real quick. Sunday, November 14th, I am really excited about this show. Legend, a real legend, is coming on the show. I'm talking about Sam Cutler. He was the road manager for the Rolling Stones and for the Grateful Dead. He has a book out. You can't always get what you want. I've been reading it. It's great. I'm super excited. This is the second in our side trips series that we are doing, trying to get out there, do a little bit of different stuff with the New York Hardcore Chronicles. Back on Wednesday, November 17th, back to the norm here. We got Jason Bittner coming on the show, currently in Overkill, formerly in Shadows Fall, Flotsam and Jetsam, and Stigmata. Jason Bittner coming on the show Wednesday, November 17th. And then, of course, announced this recently, looking forward to having him on the show, Mr. Dave Ellefson, formerly of Megadeth, currently of the Lucid, Altitudes and Attitudes that we were talking about with Frankie Bello, and F5. Hey, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff with Ellefson. I see he's been doing other podcasts and shows and talking about everything. So we'll see. But you know how we do on this show, man. We talk about music here. We don't really get too wrapped up in people's drama or stuff like that, So there you go. So David Ellefson coming on. Want to mention, let me see. I'll make sure I got everything. Oh, yeah, I got to mention this also. If you didn't already know, on Sunday, December 5th, is our record release show. We are honored to be playing with Scott Roberts and Will Shepler in the Take, Enziguri, Non-Residence, and Fire is Murder. It's murder at the Bowery Electric. Free show, all ages. Sunday matinees are back on the Bowery. It is the Antidote NYHC Scarred record release show. The new record Scarred is available. Revelation's got it. Generation, Cortex. So buy the new Antidote NYHC EP Scarred. The Dog Eat Dog show, November 7th. I'm doing the JJ French thing November 6th. Oh, I want to thank all the Facebook pages out there and all the administrators of all the Facebook pages that allow me to post about this show and basically advertise on their Facebook pages. So I want to shout all. There's about 50 of them, but I want to thank everybody out there who has a Facebook page that I post up on. What else? There's a merch line, New York Hardcore Chronicles live merch underneath there. Feel free to follow on Instagram. There's the Instagram address. I think that covers a lot, right? Drew, you should head up to PC for Phil. What does that mean? Head up to PC for Phil? I'm not sure what the code is here. I can't crack the code. PC for Phil. Please reiterate. Speak English, as Billy Milano would say. Mark Pisoni's watching. Fantastic. We can do it now, Mark. Thank you. There you go. Phil Lesh. Oh, is that what you're saying? Hold on. Oh, head up to last time I saw Phil Lesh, man, I was gravely disappointed. I was really, really disappointed. It really wasn't very good. So I don't think I'm going to see Phil Lesh again anytime soon. That said, Let's take questions from around the world. Yeah, in Portchester. That's where I saw him. I get the code. PC is Portchester. That's where I saw him last time. I didn't really enjoy it too much. He played with Yorma. It wasn't very good. Oh, Andrea, I can post on the Andrea Katz entertainment page. Well, thank you, hon. Thank you. Okay, let's have some fun. Let's have some laughs. Let's bring Richie back on the show. Hey, before we get into it, who wants to say hi? Hold on a second. Let me clear all this crapola. Hey, Rat Bones.
What's up? What's up, Richie?
You got something
What's
for
up,
Richie,
Rat Bones?
Just want to say what's up, man. Love you, brother. In hardcore we throw, being from New York, we always compare everything to AF and Madball. But I think every city has their big band. You get on with Terror so well. They're like the West Coast. It was Powerhouse, then it was Terror. And you guys really woke the East Coast back up with Wisdom in Chains, man. I got to give you credit for that. Your live show is phenomenal.
Wow.
You kind of mix the tough guy energy of Madball with that family energy of H2O. And it's like, it speaks for itself, the music. So, and all the other stuff you're doing is incredible. So I'm looking forward to seeing Z9, and seeing what you got going with that. But it's been a good show. I like listening to the background of what's going on.
Could you say something totally inappropriate? Because I don't feel
no more. I know Richie too well, man.
No, I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Kind words.
I mean,
especially Madball H2O. Wow, that's incredible.
When I got to go back 30 years to remember something or a record, I get off the hook. You know what I mean? I don't know everything. All right.
Everybody takes it in stride, Rat Bones. We love you, bro.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm a fan of music. I might be what I am to these people or whatever, but I got my opinion on things. Like I'm just a fan of music. I can like it or not like it too.
Yeah,
but
I'm a fan of music too.
I got one question for you.
Please make it totally inappropriate.
Zeppelin guy as well as a Black Sabbath guy. I want to know if you're a Led Zeppelin guy and a Maiden guy.
I really like Led Zeppelin. Nobody near the level of Black Sabbath, but Led Zeppelin over Maiden. But I do like both.
All right.
I do like both.
All right, Rat. We'll talk to you soon, bro.
I miss hanging out at the B&B radio nights with you, Richie, man. It's good.
Yeah, man. I miss that too. Damn, I'll see you around though. Take it easy.
All right, guys. Later.
Yo, I'm a Led Zeppelin guy, bro. I'm a Led Zeppelin guy.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit older than you. Like, not that really means it, but like Led Zeppelin, man, was like when I was growing up. Like Led Zeppelin was.
Yeah. I mean, I love Led Zeppelin, the first 4 albums especially. They're flawless, all of those. And to get 4 strong records, that's unheard of. But yeah, I'd love Zeppelin. But Black Sabbath brought the evilness that I need. That little evil. I need a little evil.
Here's a good question. Here we go. Let's start with this. Richie, questions. First, do you consider yourself to be the one that brought the beard game into hardcore?
No, I'm going to say no.
You've had the beard for 30 years, LOL. That's part 1. Answer that.
I might be an early person that had a beard in the scene, but I hate the fact that there's beard products, that there's barbers everywhere that want this manicured beard. My shit is just a regular beard, So I don't want to be associated with that vibe, but I might be an early guy in the scene with some facial hair qualities. Yeah, maybe.
And the second part is, do you think that if Wisdom in Chains were a full-time touring band, that you guys would be huge? I feel you'd be the biggest hardcore band ever. It's a good question. Wow. It's a good question, actually.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'll say with Wisdom in Chains, we really did half-ass it a lot. We kind of just did everything that was easy. We put in some work, but for the most part, Nah, we're not going to do that. Okay, we'll do this. Okay, we kind of did the band at our convenience from the beginning, except for the writing. We always took the writing serious. So I'm sure if we worked harder, we could have been a bigger band. But at the same time, I'm just happy that, to me, like the success is in the acknowledgement of the classic acts. You know what I mean? Like to do a split 7-inch with Madball, that's success for me, and all I ever wanted to do was be in the mix in the hardcore scene. You know what I mean? So
I love your honesty about that, bro.
Yeah, we did. We half-assed. But listen,
Love
that's
it.
life, baby. Yeah.
Yep.
There's that guitar again. You can see a little better. See the H with the dagger through it?
I see the daggers now. Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah.
I want to know who's squeezing my arm like that. What are you doing? You're gonna mess the whole
right?
song
What is
up.
that? Like,
You're gonna make me ruin the song.
Obviously,
look at Sonny in the background. He's sticking this all out with the
obviously
armpits.
You're playing This Is Hardcore, right? I see the is back there.
Yes, This Is Hardcore. Yeah, that's always a good time, man.
Paris Mayhew, greatest band of all time, Led Zeppelin. There you go.
Yeah, a lot of people. Our lead guitarist, Chris, he'll agree with both of you guys. Led Zeppelin is his all-time favorite. Jimmy Page, guitar player of the universe, and they got incredible songs. They do.
Richie, do you like that guitar better than the KH guitar?
I almost a couple months ago bought the KH one, the purple sparkle one, and Luke talked me out of it. He said, "You're gonna play that live, bro. People are gonna laugh at you." And so I never got to play the KH. I don't know, but it looks dope. I know the tremolos are different, so I'd have to get used to that a little bit. But I want to try that one. I never did yet.
Here's from our resident historian, Mr. Chucky Brown. Can he speak on when him and Mad Joe walked in a club in construction clothes back when Body Count asked Wisdom in Chains to play with them? I believe Madball was on the bill too.
Yeah. It was Madball was on the bill. Another band, I forget who, us, Body Count. And Body Count wanted Wisdom in Chains on the bill. Like, I was like, wow, how did they even know? I give props to Ice-T. He knows the scene. He knows what he likes. He knows who's who, and me and Joe was a union construction worker at the time, a carpenter in the city, and it was a Friday show. And after work, we went to the club to get ready, and we're dirty as fuck, grimy, boots on. We walk in the club, Ice-T's right there, and he's like, "Yo, what's up, Wisdom in Chains?" And I was like, wow, he knows who we are, even looking like this. And then in my head, I'm like, maybe he thinks like it's our gimmick to like wear construction clothes while we play. You know what I'm saying? But the last 2 Body Count records too, I dig those, man. And the production, like that dude Will Putney that he recorded those albums, man. I'd love like, you will throw us a bone, give us a cheap discount. I know you're worth so much, but we just can't afford it. But the production he got for Body Count, sick. People check those out. The drums
I gotta get Ice. I gotta get Ice on the show.
You got to. I want to see how much he does know. You could get to the bottom of it.
Yo, I can relate to that story because a couple years ago, I was with Astoria Lou. We were at the Chiller, the Chiller Theater Convention thing.
Yeah.
Right. We always go to that. Me, Astoria Lou, Alago. We always troop to Parsippany. Right. It's like our thing. Lou from Sick of It All goes, and we always go. Right. There's always a couple people we know that are doing it. Right. So a couple years ago, I'm there, and I have the New York Hardcore Chronicles. A couple DVDs. I always take a couple DVDs in my bag, maybe. Because
you're a hustler.
Well, also I know when a band is on tour, they have a DVD player on the bus. So like I'll go, like if I go see Ministry, I'll give one. Hey Al, something for the bus, So I see Ice at Chiller, and he's just standing against the wall, kind of. And I gotta give Ice-T the New York Hardcore Chronicles, film DVD. I'm walking up to him with the DVD in my hand, and he goes, "New York Hardcore Chronicles DVD. I loved it. I loved film. I loved it."
Yeah.
He's like, same thing. He's like, "Yo, loved it." It was right after he did a track with Madball, and like we just started chopping it up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's like, "Yo, I love that film." Yeah.
Yo, that's like the realest dude.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, he's a television star, a hip hop star,
and they got a Grammy. They won a Grammy.
Now his metal band got a Grammy under the belt, and he knows what's up. He's no fronts. And you know what? He was born in Newark, New Jersey, just like me.
Is that right?
Yeah, people say East Coast, but where was he born? Where was you born, Ice-T? Let us know.
Paulie Porkchop says, I saw Body Count at Lemoore in Brooklyn for the Cop Killer Tour in December '92. Exodus, DRI, and Propane opened. Shout out to Lemoore. Yo, I saw Body Count the first time they ever played New York City at CBGB's.
Oh,
and it
shit.
was people say, people go, memory of CBGB's or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that's like my number one memory of CBGB's is not like, Agnostic Front or me playing there. I saw Body Count was, I think, the first time they ever played New York at and it was right when that whole thing was hitting the fan. It was bananas.
With the song Cop Killer, the artwork with the
it
Cop
was
Killer
bananas.
chest. Yeah, he caught a lot of heat, but that definitely helped.
Yep. Oh, I got to get Flavor Flav on the show, huh? Okay.
Flavor Flav. Yo, when I was in high school, Flavor Flav used to come to our high school.
Really?
Yeah, because he used to have a place in the Poconos. Like, he used to even rap about it. Go to my Pocono hideaway with a fresh bag of Frito-Lay. And then he would come to the school and give a shit out, like T-shirts and stuff.
Since Richie's playing a Hanneman guitar, has he ever met Jeff?
Never. Seen him on stage many times, but never met.
Right.
Never met him. I would love to, because he was like, both great guitar players in that band, but Hanneman was like my style, the way he played. I loved that.
Well, he was the lover of hardcore, right?
Yeah, I think he had that vibe. You know who I recently saw lately live? Guns N' Roses and Slash. Oh my God, that guy killed it. I love the Slash style.
I'm a Guns N' Roses fan, bro. I've seen them play many, many times.
Me too.
You
hear the new song?
The new old song?
That what's called Hard School, maybe it's called.
Yeah, it's an old song.
That's an old song?
Yeah.
That they re-recorded?
Yeah, they sort of took the basic tracks. Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, it's good.
I like that, man.
It's Slash stuff in there, right?
Yeah.
You're a straight edge dude, right?
That's right.
Why do I see all this pictures of
I'm
you
working
making drinks?
I'm working at a bar there. No, I am. This guy asked me to work the bar, and I'll tell you what, like, what's hard? Pouring a beer out of the tap. I was giving people like this much foam and barely any beer juice.
You got to tilt it. You got to do a whole thing, right?
I couldn't figure it out, man. I could not figure it out, but I was able to mix a couple drinks. But I like buying people drinks. I like feeding people drinks and then getting them in trouble and then bouncing, But
were you ever a drinker?
Never drank in my life.
You never drank in
True
your life?
straight edge is birth till death. I'm very sorry for you people out there that call yourself straight edge. You're false straight edge. It's birth till death. That's
wow.
That's it.
And you never smoked reefer or anything?
Never.
Wow.
If I'm hurting, I take it. I always say the good Lord gives me this pain, I accept it.
Oof.
My mom said, take an aspirin. I said, mind your business.
And also, you're a big eater. You guys in this band, I remember I went out and had a meal with you guys once. You guys are like, eating is like, I guess you got Luke in the band, you got Big Joe, right? It's like, I guess it's like food seems to be a big part of the Wisdom and Change protocol. Is that safe to say?
Yeah. I think it's in hardcore in general. Even when you were young, I'm sure you and your homies did just like us. After the show, you're going to a diner, right? Everybody, you're going to a Denny's, wherever city you're in. You're gonna find some. There's always the family atmosphere around food, but with us to the next level because we're foodies. And this particular pizza is at Di Lorenzo's in New Jersey, one of the best Jersey pies you could get. Really good. I recommend this. But yeah, we're all about food, man. All about even cooking. Like Luke is a sick cook.
I bet he is, man.
Yeah, he takes everything he does with food serious. If he makes you a sandwich, he takes it serious.
Brian says, "Let's talk pizza. Top 3 pizzerias
in the world." Like if I give you, I'm gonna say Di Lorenzo's. I'm gonna throw a Jersey, a PA, and a New York.
Please.
Okay. Di Lorenzo's from New Jersey. I'm gonna give you that. For Philly, there's a lot of options. People sleep on Philly. But I'm going to give it to Tacconelli's, and it's a very obscure place. Tacconelli's in Philadelphia. So that's the PA one. And for New York, this is very hard. I was at Amore in Queens yesterday. People love Amore's. I think it's a great pizza, but it's I'm not going to go crazy about it.
That's Craig. That's Craig Satari's jam, boy. He carries on about that. He brought me there once, like we were, like it was,
right. And you walk in, you're like, wow, it's pretty good, right? It's pretty good.
It's just regular pizza, bro, and I love it. I love because you know what? Those places don't exist anymore. Like old school, throw it in the oven. like
it's very solid New York style pizza.
that's all.
But I'm gonna say the best pizza is by the man himself, Nino Coniglio, owner of Williamsburg Pizza, winner this year in Las Vegas, best of the best pizza makers in the world. Nino Coniglio from the Brooklyn, who was kind enough to give me, Armand, Craig, who you mentioned, all the boys. Our man Fowler flew up at his house, front yard, putting pizzas in, making live on the spot. It's a place called Williamsburg Pizza, a couple locations. That's my favorite in New York.
Right on. Chucky Brown again coming up for air. Can he speak on when he booked at a spot called CC's a show with Warzone, Crown of Thorns, Bulldoze, 1 for 1, and Krutch? I believe there was 30 people in attendance.
Yes, it was dead. I was so excited to book the show, as you can see from that lineup, and it was dead. But I remember reaching out to Ray Bees and him just being like, "Yeah, we'll do it, man." And and he played the show with all his might, regardless of the small crowd. The people that were there were bugging, but regardless of the crowd, he didn't sweat it. He played like it was a million people there. And at the end of the night, he's like, "Nah, don't even worry about the money. If you got something cool, if you don't, I see there's nobody here." Saved my ass on that. And I booked that show. It didn't work out like I thought. Like if you look at that on paper, you would think that was a classic show from the past, but it didn't work
things
out.
were sometimes hit or miss back then too, man.
Yeah.
It's like, of course, in retrospect now we're like, look at that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But back then in that moment, it was a little hit or miss, man.
We had classic Warzone, and then you had like the new guys on the block,
Crown of Thorns, Bulldoze,
1 for 1 from New Jersey. This was like, it didn't work out. I don't know if it was a weather thing or what, because I remember early time I saw Madball at CC's, I was just going up randomly, and it was a snowstorm, but we knew CC's always had shows. Next thing you know, Madball, we go out the door. Vince, who's playing tonight? He owns the place. Oh, Madball from New York. What? Oh, but it was dead, but it was like a terrible snowstorm. It was early in the Madball touring career. And great shows at that place, but not everything.
I remember when I was managing Marauder, we played CC's and it was off the hook.
With Biohazard? I remember there was some beef one time with Marauder playing up there. Was there any beef that time or no? They were actually playing with a Boston band. They were on tour with a Boston band at the time.
I don't remember. I just remember.
There was always drama.
But what I think there might have been, my memory is I remember playing CC's and I remember there being chaos.
Some great shows there. Some great packed to the gills, and if Biohazard's coming there, it's going to be nuts. If Marauder's coming there, it's going to be nuts for the most part.
How about that? Nino cooked at Paris's wedding.
Beautiful. Incredible. Cool. What a guy.
Yeah.
Nino. And Nino has his own podcast all about pizza. Look him up.
What year was that show?
Shit, that's my problem.
That's got to be like 95?
Yeah, I'd say mid-90s, somewhere in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
I got a horrible memory, though, but I remember taking a hit on that.
What's up, Richie? Yo, what was it like playing Tompkins Square Park show?
Yo, that was like a breath of fresh air, because it like was a normality, a little taste of normality again, when we didn't think nothing was going on. And even when we said we'll play the show, we didn't know if anybody was going to even be there,
Yeah.
Who's scared to go, who's, too far away, if people even know about it. So it was, it kind of like, it was like almost a morale boost for all involved to keep you going for another few months of inactivity, because you didn't know what was ahead. So Tompkins Square was a ballsy move by everybody involved who played it or booked it. And even anybody that showed up, it was a ballsy move. Even just defending it online, it was a ballsy move. So respect to everybody.
It's still reverberating to this day, man, that show. It's like, man. I mean,
and because of that show, we got a taste of cancel culture.
Yeah.
Because we were booked to do a show that Vans sponsors through Walter from Gorilla Biscuits. He does a show similar to this, maybe, where he has a band on, they play live, blah, blah, blah. We were booked on that. We knew how much we were getting paid. We knew the date. After we did that show, Walter said, unfortunately, it's out of my hands, but here's the email from Vans. They don't want you playing.
Hey, listen, I don't get into,
Yeah, I'm just putting it out there. I was like, you
listen. I want to put this. I want to put this out there. Vans are a bunch of pussies.
That's what I was
straight
trying
up.
to say. Yeah.
You know, they're a bunch of pussies.
Yeah.
You know, and this is a testament to because I heard about all that too. You know what I mean? Like so and so is going to lose his job because he was at the show and this and that. You know what? It's a testament. It's moments like this that I go, you know what? I'm so glad that I walk the DIY road, bro. That I do my own thing and my own show, and I don't have to kowtow to anybody. You know what I mean? It's like I do my own thing, and I don't got to worry about getting answering to Vans.
Totally.
You know?
What a disappointment. Vans, you're supposed to be rebellious and this and the underground.
Man.
Suckers. But yo, respect to Walter though. It wasn't on him. And Walter, Walter looked out for me when I was doing the Z9 stuff because I was new to singing, and he gave me some pointers and stuff and offered his time. So very cool. But as for Vans, fuck you suckers.
Yeah, Vans wants to use the culture, but don't stand by the culture.
That's
absolutely right. 100%.
And you see that guy right there, Jeff Gavin?
Yeah.
That's the OG. He does a podcast with me called Rule of Three. Me, Jeff, and Joe Hardcore.
That's right.
Everybody look for the Rule of Three.
The Rule of Three.
Fans are culture vultures.
Culture vultures.
Yeah. Turn that shit around on them, son.
That they're all scared. What's going on here, bro?
What is this? Okay, check this out. This is a big money game right here. This is like 10 G. Yeah, there's like 10 G's on the line. I'm a little nervous. If I don't make the shot, it's a wrap. I'm out big. Hoya says, listen, you hit the ball right there where he's pointing, and I win. Guess what? I fucking won. Hoya, I took the 10 G's. I gave Hoya half. Look at Hoya. Wow, he's serious in that picture.
He's the point man.
What a shot, though. Look at everybody's moving. Look at Luke, like looking right at the camera. Look at Chris's finger on the table over there. What's going on? This is like some subliminal occult type thing going on.
Yeah, he's trying to do like a voodoo thing, like putting his finger on it. He's trying to like.
Yeah, he's trying to jinx me, I bet.
There you go. That's funny.
And look at Evan wearing a Trump shirt. Oh, no, that's Triumph, the motorcycle. My bad. I almost got him canceled right there.
Hoya Moscone.
Oh, Hoya Moscone. I bet he would love that name.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Like I said, we were going to circle back to this. Let's talk about this, man. This is off the hook. Boom.
Okay, man. Yeah. What's that date? December 11th, right?
That's Holiday Jam 2021, Saturday, December 11th, featuring Youth of Today, All Out War, Killing Time, E-Town Concrete, Death Threat, Cruel Hand, Shattered Realm, Rude Awakening, and so on and so forth. Bushido Code,
Bushido Code, devastating band, thrash style.
Hard.
And then people like MH Chaos is another band that just came out on Fast Break Records. And you got Strength for a Reason. They just played last night. This band is legendary PA band, 25 plus years, Strength for a Reason.
What is this venue? Does this venue have a name? What is this venue?
This is Club Reverb in Reading, PA. See at the bottom, reverbconcert.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's the logos, the venue logos up on the top.
I couldn't figure out the venue.
It could have been more clear. That's a good call. I appreciate that, Drew.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell the artist here, wake the fuck up.
Now, what's your role in this?
Me, the owner of the venue, Chris Mahmood, who I was in Mushmouth with, Boxcutter. That's my bro. And Joe Hardcore, who I do Rule of Three podcast with. We booked this, the three of us together.
This is like a mini. This is like a mini one day. This is hardcore.
Straight up, and that's kind of what it is. We, sometimes it's 2 days. Most of the time, it's 1 day. This is probably the third one we're doing. The last one we did, the last Holiday Jam we did. Not last because of all the shit going on, but the one before that we had Gorilla Biscuits there, Shelter. Wow. It was incredible show, incredible.
I want to play one.
This is gonna be fun. Come out. We're gonna treat you like a king. We're gonna put you on the throne with the best seat. I'm gonna make you drinks. You saw I could make a drink. And Frank,
I'm straight edge like you. I don't drink.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, you could hold it for the pictures.
But I'm fake straight edge because I'm not straight edge from birth, so I'm fake straight. I'm
So
phony straight edge.
You're free of filth. I call that. That you're FOF, free of.
But
filth.
this is a hell of a friggin' bill, man. Is this Youth of Today with Craig Satari, or are they back?
No, I don't think it is.
No,
I don't.
yeah.
I think it's. I think they did that because I guess Quicksand was on tour, right?
Yo, Killing Time. Yo, Joe Hardcore got a hard on for Killing Time.
He loves Killing Time.
He
So do we. I
loves
mean, our name is Wisdom in Chains. So of course, we love Killing Time. Yeah.
And E-Town. Come on, that's like a Jersey, Pennsylvania, like legends.
And PA and New Jersey people love E-Town like family. I mean,
no vax needed, huh?
No, I don't think so. I mean, shit.
That's cool.
We mind our own business. If you're vaxxed, cool. If you want to, I'll give you a shot as soon as you walk in. If you want, I'll get some extra shots.
Yep.
And if one of you wants to get vaccinated,
it's like that's killing it here in New York, man. These shows that we're doing, it's not helping, man. I mean, the shows. I mean, I went to a show last night, and there was a big artist doing his record release thing, and it wasn't packed. I mean, it's tough, man.
Yeah, I mean, you're cutting out half of your audience right there. Yeah. I went to get a slice of pizza after work, and it was raining out. The guy's like, "You want to eat in here?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You got a vaccination card?" At a little pizza joint. I was like, "Oh shit!" I kind of forgot about it,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Is this? Are you doing the Post America podcast here?
I
love your studio, bro.
This is our studio. No, actually, this was the Chromags were playing at a venue in Trenton, New Jersey, and it's called the Championship. And I told John, I was like, "Yo, I'll bring my shit down there. We'll do it back there." And he's like, "Bring it down, motherfucker. We'll do it right here." And then boom, we did it.
That shit.
Yeah, and we did it. He hooked it up. And
I love the bottle of Hennessy on the left.
You know why? Because half the club,
cans, the toxic, all the toxic fumes. It's good. It's a good environment for a hardcore show.
I know, it's terrible. This is the backstage. Look at how we live, like Anamale. But yeah,
and I love the table. The table's like an old cable spool, Yeah, look. Yeah, I love that table. That's punk rock.
That is punk, right? That's how we do, baby. Like me and you were talking. If you want to do it, you got to make it work. I got to go down. I don't even know barely how to set this shit up, but I wanted that interview with John.
I don't know if that's a liquor closet. That looks like the paint closet.
Yeah, for real. But this club is attached to a liquor store, so you know what kind of neighborhood it is. So it's half a bar, half a venue, half a liquor store. There's 3 halves to this place.
Oh, bro! Shout out to the mop bucket, bro.
Yeah, right in the middle.
The mop. It's hard, bro.
That's where they keep the ice too. The ice is in there with the drinks.
This is probably the hardest photo of the show so far, bro. That's like that you winning with. That's a winner right there, man.
See that? That's how we do, baby.
Absolutely.
We keep it real.
We're going through the tour here a little bit of because we like to show all the pictures, but here you are, one of my friends who put me on back in the day, right? It was this
Billy.
Was this on the what was the thing you did in Europe with these guys?
This is actually at the Stone Pony.
Oh yeah. Duh, look what's in the background, right?
That could be the Deftones White Pony, but yeah, that's the Stone Pony logo right there. But yeah, we were just all hanging out. Billy played, and that's the blurry guy's Danny.
Oh.
Yeah. Danny was going bugging out.
That looks like Nicky Gargano behind Danny.
It could be
Nicky Gargano, yeah.
It almost looks like the picture, like there's a double. Look at the guy behind my hat, and then Nicky. Is that the same guy?
That's crazy.
What the fuck is going on there? I just noticed that.
Is that your merch, American Straight Edge? You sell that?
No. Crucified Straight Edge is my shit. That's another company, American Straight Edge.
I like that.
They're exclusive only for Americans. Worldwide, you could buy my shit.
Michael LaRose, Drew, get your ass up to New England and do some gigs up here.
Nah,
because we don't leave the 5 boroughs, man. It's a hassle.
I thought you were just in California. What do you mean you don't leave the 5 boroughs?
We made an exception.
All right.
It's not on the New York City subway system. We don't want to.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's a pain in the ass. I like this one here. Obviously, going back 4 years to the Black and Blue Bowl, 2017, right? Boom.
Oh. The King of Kings, Lord of Lords.
Yeah, the king of Mott Street.
Dude, what a guy. This is the guy. This is everything. Yeah. This is, I mean, there is no bigger rock star. Like, I don't care who you talk about. Sonny Bono, whatever his name is. This is the guy right here.
Sonny Bono.
Like, one of those guys, the U2 guy or whatever. But this is like I mean, the story here, like how's he still doing it? I get out of bed in the morning, I'm crawling to the bathroom, I can barely stand up straight. This guy, the last tour we did, Agnostic Front was on it. He did a stage dive during Gorilla Biscuits.
Dude, he's
I was like,
65 years old.
yes, I couldn't believe it. And every night he's the last guy to go to sleep. He's up all night singing with everybody, hugging people, making people sandwiches. Like, what a guy.
Yeah.
And we got it since we saw him. We got it, and we saw Roger early. We got to say get well to Roger. We know he's hurting right now, so get well.
Gajowski, yeah. Listen, I was just kidding. We'll get up there and play Connecticut, New England. We'll get out there and play. New records coming out. We'll make it happen. Let me see what else I got here. Couple others here doing a little tour here. Here you are with Stickman.
This is the very first episode of Post America Podcast 2013. We just had an anniversary. So however many years is that we've been doing this crazy podcast, and that's
wow. Hey, I want to come on the podcast
anytime. Now it's easier because back then you see with John Joseph and with him we had to go face to face. Now we just do a Zoom.
Yeah.
So I could do it a little easier as long as whenever we're both free.
Oh, by the way, I meant to tell you this. I listened to the episode with Carl from Earth Crisis today. I listened to the whole thing.
Carl's a good guy, right? I mean,
dude, he's an intelligent guy.
Yes.
He really broke it down. I listened to the whole thing. I made food. I was listening to it. I folded the laundry. I humped my girlfriend. Like the whole bit. Like I was listening to Carl from Earth Crisis.
Yeah, he when he says something, he thinks before he says it. You know what I mean? Yeah. What a guy.
Yeah. He really interesting background there. Is this your new project, Z9?
No. This is that guy in the middle.
This is 2/3 of Z9.
It is. The guy in the middle is Dan Smith, famous tattoo artist. He's an incredible tattoo artist. He's also in the band Sharp Shock, and he also just filled in with H2O on guitar for some of their dates out west. But we are in the Ramones Museum here in Berlin. So we were on tour with H2O, and he was Dan Smith was filling in for him. But Dan Smith is an awesome dude from New Zealand, lives out in Cali now, sick tattooist too.
Eesh.
He used to be on that show with Kat Van D. Remember?
Tattoo.
The earliest one. I always say, "Did you nail Kat Van D?" Tell me he won't say nothing. Something Ink, Super Ink, Crazy Ink.
Yeah.
I like the Black Ink. I could relate more to the Black Ink show. They're like, that's a good one. Check that out if you ever get the chance.
What's happening here?
Okay, this is Krutch about to play with Full Force Fest back in the day. That's the singer. Way on the left, the guy that joined the military.
But Joe was in Krutch.
Joe was in the later albums of Krutch, and there's a way kind of for us to bring our friend with us too. We say,
and he was playing bass.
No, he was singing. He was helping sing.
Huh.
Yeah, and in the middle we had he was playing bass. That's Chris Mahmood, the guy I do book with in Boxcutter, Mushmouth, Out to Win.
Yep.
Then Chris Mavromatis, who says Led Zeppelin is the greatest band ever. And then that's me, and I'm wearing overalls in that. So you got to respect that. And then on the right is the drummer Sean Battle, who moved down to Washington D.C. and he's like a millionaire real estate agent down there now.
Yeah, he looks like it, dude. Dude. Look, it's almost like he almost doesn't. It almost like who is this dude? Like
he's a sick drummer, but he got a little different kind of look. And he makes like parody little sitcom shows selling the units. He'll be like a cop investigating the place, and he puts it up, and people, but like little apartments down there going for like $700,000. So he's killing it,
The show's L.A. Ink.
L.A. Ink. All right, Dan Smith, what a tattoo artist, so good.
Yeah, L.A. Ink, and that makes sense. Yeah, L.A. Ink.
He owns Captured Tattoo in California.
I see. Hey. Any other questions out there for Richie Krutch? Mancuso, post them up now. Don't be shy. Not that we're going anywhere for a couple minutes. We're good, right? It took me a little time. It took me a little while to get up to speed today, but I'm up to speed now. So.
Oh, good. No, I have a bucket right under here. I took 2 leaks so far. Nobody knows nothing.
Bro, nothing for nothing. I ran into the bathroom when Josh was doing the record thing. Whenever I do this, I'm off taking.
I know. You're up to no good. When you do that, you're up to no good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like looking at my phone, taking a piss. You know, like shit like that. You know.
Smart move.
Yeah. You know, I've learned. You know, arguing. You know, people and shit off screen. Here's a good one with a couple of my New York friends. Right.
Oh yeah.
Who's that up front? Is that Carl?
That's all the way to the right?
Yeah.
That's me.
Oh, wait a second.
The guy with the headband?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Huh.
Now, this is what Rap Bones was talking about, hanging out at the B&B radio show. This was one of those nights. We'd go there all the time, man.
Yeah.
We'd eat at Little Frankie's, and then we just chill out. Who was their guest? Who's coming? Hanging out. Great time. Yo, that was a really important run, all those shows back then. You got you got Jimmy right there with, I mean, come on, that's a legend right there.
Yep.
He was mad at us because we were in Astoria yesterday and we didn't check in with him. So we're in a little trouble with him.
Yeah. Upstate Richie, what was it like playing Tompkins Square Park? What are you smoking crack, bro? We talked about that for 10 minutes already, dude.
And he asked that already.
3 times.
Oh, all right. Come on.
Come on, Rick. What's going on?
Okay, come on.
You know what it is? He smokes reefer, and he's like, it's what happens.
Yeah. That's
guys.
why I stay away from
No, they don't even, they see your mouth moving. They don't really get the words.
Yeah, they hear what they want to hear.
Yeah. Another Chucky Brown. Here we go. Ask Richie, what does salt, matches, and a knife used for? I believe it has something to do with pizza. What?
Yeah, I don't know how he knows this, but it's something he shouldn't know. There's a secret society pizza group, and there's some rituals involved, and in some of those rituals, these things are used. And Craig Satari was part of this movement, this group, but he was expelled, and he's not with us no more. We had to give him a ceremony that involved some of those materials.
Yeah, well, probably because he opened his mouth to Chucky Brown, right?
Yeah, he said something he shouldn't have. Now we know, and we got to take care of it.
What is this? Maybe Richie wants to participate in the Hardcore by Choice projects. You ever hear of that?
Nah, what is
I have no idea what that is.
Hardcore by Choice. Like the projects, like the Hood? Let's do a show there. I'm down.
Who's Rich Coppinger?
Rich Coppinger.
Early on for Boxcutter, we tracked vocals for Stickman and his son J-Rock. After we sent the audio back, we heard there was a fire in the studio you guys were using. Do I have that accurate? If so, do you guys lose a lot of material?
I don't remember that. A fire in the studio we were using. It could be because my memory's shot, and Boxcutter was a long time ago, but my memory's shot. We haven't lost material in a while, but back in the day, it was something we used to worry about a lot. You probably the same thing with you, Drew. Yeah. Like back in the day, like they'd put a tape in you thought you recorded on, and shit's not there, and it's just like there's no backups and this and that. But it doesn't really happen anymore. Yeah. Like they're recording on hard drives. The hard drives are automatically backing up without anybody doing it, as long as they set it. But that was an issue back in the day. That's for the fire, man. I don't remember.
Well, I remember when you record on tape and you had to make a backup, a slave, and sit there and wait for that whole. I hate the recording studio, bro. I'm not a recording studio dude.
See, I love it. I'd rather do that than play live. Like I want to.
Yeah, it's not for me, man. I've learned to sort of let the people that are into it run the show, and bring me in at the last possible moment, Richie, have you ever found any body parts in the concrete when you were mixing it?
Yes, I have. Yes. Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
This is New York. You know who runs the concrete.
Yep.
I keep my mouth shut.
Richie, this is coming from London. Richie, I hear you talk about nerd hardcore bands on Post America podcast sometimes. Name your top 5 nerd hardcore bands.
Top 5 nerd hardcore bands. I'll say the number one that would be like the Jesus, the original one that would spawn all other nerd hardcore bands would probably be Minor Threat. That would be like the number one like nerd hardcore band. From that band, you would get like a nerd element, elitist kind of know-it-all kind of element, and then I'm not saying I don't like these nerd bands.
No,
like,
this is fascinating.
And I would say another big name that that I would put in the nerd hardcore band category would be Youth of Today.
Yeah,
would be nerd hardcore.
Would
100%.
H2O fall in that category?
Nah, I don't think they would because they never had the like. This is not just sonically. This has to be like how you operate. Like H2O would never shun the so-called other type of hardcore bands, especially the
good word, name. Good use of the word shun.
Yeah. Like some bands would shun bands that they would use the fictional name Tough Guy Hardcore for, you know, that made up name when it's just hardcore. But they would say, oh, that's Tough Guy Hardcore. We don't deal with it. H2O wouldn't do something like that, but some other bands might do it. And to be in the nerd mix, whether you're good or not, a good band or not, that's one of the things you have to do. So I'll put those two are the main nerd ones I could think of offhand.
Okay, that makes sense. Let me see.
Fugazi, well, listen, I mean, I don't think they're of them as hardcore, but they're definitely in the nerd, you know, a nerdcore scene. But
here's a good one: is Mushmouth Out to Win done?
It's pretty much done, but it might pop up like a benefit show. Somebody needs a band. We get together here and there. Yeah. We might do something once every other year if the occasion's right. But the other guys, like Chris Mahmood, he's in a band called Carried by Six, which is a dope band. They got the basic scenester from Philly that everybody knows, like the Pit Monster, like how they used to operate in the old days. Who's the Pit Monster? He's our singer. You know, that's what Carried by Six has with Zach Barone on vocals. And cool. Chris Hensel, the singer of Mushmouth, has another project, I think with maybe, I could be wrong, with some guys from Ringworm and stuff. So be on the lookout for that.
Turnstile got some nerds, apparently.
Turnstile would appear to be nerds.
Turnstile just blowing up, bro.
Yes, Turnstile doing great. I wouldn't consider them a nerd band because they also don't shun, you know.
Yeah.
But they might look like
is that
nerds
a prerequisite,
in the free world.
Like to be a nerd band, like you have to shun?
Yeah, you have to have. It's kind of like you have to have an elitist mentality.
I see.
And not only just the look, you know.
Okay, so wouldn't that be Youth of Today, Bold?
Okay.
Quicksand.
Bold. Yeah. Well, Quicksand, I would say, like, I wouldn't know if they were hardcore or not.
Yeah, they're
but definitely Youth of Today, Bold, I'll put in that category. And not that I don't like some members of those bands. I'm just being honest. Minor Threat was the birth. You know, it's. But yeah, Turnstile, yo, listen, the dudes are hustling, and I like that last record. You mentioned Quicksand. I was never a Quicksand fan until this last album. I think this last Quicksand album is dope. Like this newest Quicksand album, I'm really feeling it, man. Yeah.
I like what I've heard, and actually they're playing here in a couple of days. I'm probably going to go see them play, because
check it out. Check out the album. I think you'll dig it.
Yeah, I heard that first song, the first song that they released. It was good.
Yeah, and I never checked their old stuff because I was that type of dude, like an ignorant kind of guy. And so people are like, oh, checked out their old stuff. It's even better. But when I did, I'm like, I don't know. I like this new shit. Is more for me. But I had the the opportunity to listen to it all at the same time. See, my boy
Astoria Lou turned me on to Quicks. He's a big Quicksand fan. And I went back and listened. And plus, anytime, as you know, being a podcast host, when you got somebody on your show, you got to do a little homework,
Yeah, totally.
So I have Walter on the show. I had what's his name? The bass player on the show. Why am I drawing a blank? So I went back and listened to a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think like I would maybe record of the year that new Quicksand. Like
is that right?
Yeah, Slip. That's what everybody goes to.
Yeah, there
Slip.
it is. Yeah,
Slip loves it. Like people love Slip, but I as a guy who had the luxury of hearing it all at the same time because I didn't check it out in the past. This new one to me is the one that grabs me.
I think a lot of times in a situation like that, when you hear some of those older records, just technically,
I am judging the production. Yeah.
Yeah, you're hearing something new, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to hearing a class say, okay, you know, thank you, Sergio Vega. I'm sorry, you know.
Sergio.
I had Sergio on the show. Early Judge.
Early Judge.
Could be.
Bringing it down. No, early judges. I don't put them in. If this is a question about nerd bands.
Yeah, it is. We're going back and forth. We keep returning to it. You know.
Yeah, I think Judge is a tough band and the toughest of all straight edge bands. And Bringing It Down is a better album than Age of Quarrel, even for me.
Yeah, it's good.
Like it's incredible. I love the production, the heavy reverb. And I love the vibe and personality of that singer. He's creepy and he's quiet.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Brian says, Richie, you're the straight edge guy that doesn't like straight edge hardcore. LOL.
You know, I don't like much of it, but like you heard me going off on Judge right there. I love Judge.
Yeah.
And eternal props for the vibe and attitude of Earth Crisis.
Yeah. Wow.
It's so real. They're so
well. What he was talking about on your show, I was listening today about how when they would go to a town and there'd be drama there.
Yeah.
I love the bit when he talked about they would go right back.
Yeah.
They would just keep hitting these places. If there was an issue there, they wouldn't stay away from it. They would come right back.
And coming back, not in the sense of like we're tough guys, but in the sense of like we won't let you intimidate us. We're coming back. Yeah, we're gonna do our thing.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
You know, pretty amazing. Last picture. Last one. We went through them all. Here's the last one. Boom.
There you go. This is just chilling out. This is off, you know, before or after show. We're exploring. And the guy in front is Mike Guarneri, who now plays guitar in Madball. But he was filling in for us on his tour. And he's an incredible guitar player. So we had a tour where Chris couldn't do it because his parents were sick at the time. And Mike filled in through Evan, the guy with the glasses in the back. He played in a band called Bigwig with Mike Guarneri. And
Mike Guarneri was in Bigwig?
Yeah, I don't know if he was official, but he toured with them at least. You know what I mean? So I think
the drummer Matt Gray, who plays with us in Antidote, NYHC, was in Bigwig.
Yep, that same band. So I think I'm pretty sure that he must have played with Mike Guarneri. And but Mike is an incredible guitar player, and he did this tour. And I'm kind of like, I don't want no stranger hanging out with us. Blah, blah, blah. And Evan's just like, shut up. I'm telling you, the guy's cool. He's going to do it. Yo, this guy, I didn't show him one thing. He showed up. He's playing every lead, every riff. He's singing backups. And it was just a matter of time where I'm like, live, I would say, yo, Joe, who is this guy? And he'd be like, yo, that's Mike Guarneri. And I was like, yeah, but he can't play any Van Halen. And then Mike would go into eruption. Blah, 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 blah. Like he could play anything you named, bro. Anything you named. It was incredible.
Well, they got him on board in Madball now, you know?
Yeah, great, and a great fit. He's a little tall though. Hard to travel with these real tall people. They take up a lot of space, but
yeah, I mean that's kind of a prerequisite. Like you want, you know.
Didn't
Matt Gray played with you guys too for like?
Yeah, he filled in. We did a run with H2O, and Luke couldn't do it for some reason. He probably had some bar mitzvah to go to.
No, it was before Luke was in the band.
Oh, was it before Luke?
Yeah, what was the dude's name?
No, I think it was. I think it was with Luke because Luke was pretty upset.
No.
Shannon was the old guy.
Shannon, he did it. He took Shannon's place.
Yeah, because Luke still like throws.
I went to Matt's wedding in Pennsylvania, and Shannon was there, and I met him. So it was right around then. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, all right. You know? Yeah. Matt played for us. He played in a run we did with H2O. Matt kills it. You know how good he is.
I love playing with that guy, man. Yeah. He's a big part of what we do, man.
And he's a music lover, like a sincere music lover. You know. And like some people want to just play, like, yeah, we'll play. But he don't care. He wants to play because he loves music. No gimmicks, you know.
Well, the thing about Matt too is Matt's a drum teacher, so the guy's playing drums every day. So by the time we're playing, like I just want to sit and watch. I just want to like watch the guy play. I mean, the guy is, listen, we're all in bands, and a lot of us have other jobs and are doing other things, and we got But Matt is playing drums every day. So by the time
real musician.
He is the engine that drives Antidote NYHC. I mean, he's the locomotive, man. You know.
Dope. Props to Matt.
Yeah, I like playing with Matt, man.
And he's like Mike Guarneri. These two guys are true musicians. You know?
Yes.
Master of their crafts.
Absolutely. Well, hey, that was a nice 2 hours and 45 minutes show.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, bro.
It's my pleasure. I enjoyed it, man. It took
Yeah.
me a little time to get up to speed, but you know, we
I don't know
chopped
how
it
you
up.
do it. Like, I'm like, damn, man, he's good with that shit. This picture, I'm gonna bring this guy in, bring you out. I'm like, bring me out. Where do I go? I don't. This is a good setup. Whatever you do, and it's totally
I've
unique
gotten
from all the other options out there. This is like its own thing.
150.
Very cool.
I'm what 160 episodes into it. It's
Incredible.
You know, I want to come on your show. I want to come.
Man.
I want to come on that. So
well, just keep in mind, we've been doing it from 2013, and you already got more episodes than we do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we kind of do it a little half-assed like everything else. But
I just ran at it hard, man. You know, when the pandemic hit, I was stranded down at my dad's in Florida, and I was doing 4 shows a week in the beginning. You know, because what I was doing, I was sitting with my old man. You know, 88 years old. You know, and I was
and your stuff and other people's stuff during the pandemic, I could probably speak to a lot of people watching, was like awesome for all of us because it was nothing going on, and we're sitting here and we're like, all right, some people are giving us some entertainment. This is dope, you know. So respect.
I look at the numbers of some of those early shows. It's like mind-boggling. Like I remember I did a Danny Diablo show, right? Like probably one of the first 10 shows.
Yeah.
And I remember looking afterwards. I was like, wait a second. 8,000 people watch this? Like what? I mean, it was great. What?
Well, you had a captive audience for a little while.
I did, man.
Yeah, that's great.
But now, but you know, now there's it ebbs, it ebbs and it flows. But that Biohazard show I recently did,
I watched that one. That was cool.
That was the most watched show I've ever done.
Yeah, that was dope. I was watching that one.
And that's
you know, Bobby lives right by me. When he's not in Florida, his house is right next to me.
Well, he's coming on. You know, we got this coming up, which is going to be a heavy show. Bobby and Danny are coming on for this, which is this Wednesday. Just reminding everybody that this Wednesday is the Scott Koenig tribute. You know, Scott Koenig's a dude that managed Biohazard in their heyday. He put me on back in the day. He managed Earth Crisis and Fear Factory and Madball and
I remember Krutch. Always reading this name of this guy in album layouts all the time of all my favorite albums. His name was in there.
Yep. Anybody you want to shout out on this Shout Out Sunday on the way out?
Respect to everybody. Like I said, the new podcast, Rule of 3, Post America Podcast, Fast Break Records, Z9, Wisdom in Chains, Crucified Straight Edge merch. We do it all, baby. You know, respect to everybody. We love everybody.
Cool. All right, Richie. Thank you, bro. And I'll talk to you soon. And hey, I'm going to try to make it out for that show, man.
Come chill.
Yeah,
it's a little mission, but it's not a bad ride. You come, you bring people.
What is that from the city? 2 hours?
Yeah, probably like Route 78. You know, you go that route, boom, head west. You'll hit it.
I'll try to come out. All right, man. Have a good night, brother.
You too, homie. Peace.
All right, take care. Well, there you have it. Great show with Richie Krutch Mancuso, the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Of course, sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, the Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, DTF and Vinyl Distro, Chacho's Tacos, and Generation Records. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank you, Gajewski. It was great. I think everything's covered. If anybody missed it, if you are a patron, you got the book for free. If not, here is the info to order the book. It's at www.stonefilmsnyc.com. It's $24.95. So please buy the book. Here you go. New York Hardcore Chronicles, Volume 1, 1980 to 1989. That said, there you go. I think we're good. It was a great show. We'll see you on Wednesday for a very heavy show, celebrating the life of my good friend who passed away, Scott Koenig. Until then, do good things, and good things will come to you.